straight to the back. Check them envying my leather seats in my cockpit with better beats. Nothing but blue skies ahead of me. Over the clouds and beneath the sky, it's big crew with little brothers still flying high. Your world's finest, ain't no need to lie, cause even when I'm on the ground, I'm still flying high. Hey yo, it's fine, stay up in the place to be, representing worldwide from sea to sea. We rock the spot, most definitely. This little brother flying high for the world. Let's begin our dissension.
Oh wow, hey, fall back, man. Everything we do is for that, comments, criticism, a little bit of teaching, maybe some scholarship, a whole lot of recon. Hey man, I just made myself a nice little slushy, man. It's about 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm about to fall back. Team No Sleep, what it do? And I say it's a good day for flat drop, man. Love to Kudi Mayo. Again, man, sent me this link. And a few of y'all also sent me this link, man. And I've been meaning to get to it. I'm just been surfing the wave in Kudi Mayo's classroom, man. Go make sure you hit that red button. Make sure you in that classroom of Kudi Mayo. And thank you, man, for this flat drop, man. Thank you for that Antarctica map. And much Thawada, man, for this flat drop. And let's keep on rising, bro. Let go. Shalom, man. If y'all ain't charging up, you know what I mean? I pray you will soon. You know what I'm saying? Crystallize your tribe, crystallize your flow. You know how the creator, created the earth, and then, at least according to some indigenous stories, there was multiple creations, you know what I'm saying? So the first trial didn't go so good, so he wiped that out, she wiped that out, you know what I'm saying? Then there was another, set of folk, and then they wiped that out. And then finally, we got this rainbow in the sky, right? We got this rainbow dragon in the sky. And it's like, that's supposed to be the sign, the bow in Genesis 9. Genesis 9, man, 9 above. That's the covenant, right? That's the covenant between Hawa, the creator, and the earth, that I'm not going to flood this place like that again. I'm not going to wipe it out like that again. You know what I'm saying? So just like the creator had to, go through those trial runs or, through that, situation, you know what I'm saying? You got to do that. You got to do that with your circle. You got to do that with your spiral, around you, and, continue to crystallize it. You know what I mean? Sometimes it means, giving, a brother or a sister a chance, you know what I'm saying, to crystallize with you. Other times it means, getting some separation and saying, all right, well, let's view this playing field, you know what I mean, with a little bit of different perspective, man. It's nothing personal, you know what I mean? Everyone just needs to crystallize so that we can be the vessel we got to be. You know what I'm saying? And that's all we is. That's all it is to it. Anything else, man, halal, keep the code. If you ain't keeping the code, don't even holler at me. Because, you know what I'm saying, it's a failure, man. It'll be a failed attempt, you know what I'm saying? Because we flow with a certain wave of protection. A wall, man. And sometimes people got to learn the hard way. Sometimes the creator got to, do you the hard way until you start keeping the code. You're not entitled to anything unless you're keeping the code, don't you see? You don't get to keep 25% of the code. All right, man. You keep 25% of the code, that means you're going to get jammed up 75% of the time. And really, the creator ain't play. This ain't no play, man. Keep the code, man. Keep your Shabbat. Stay hijack free. Don't bear no false witness, man. If I can say one thing about our community is that we got a whole lot of false witnesses. We like to talk about shit we don't know. A lot. And talk. A lot of stuff we don't know. We got to get it together. And it takes every individual to want to crystallize. Stop being a false witness. If you don't know, don't run your mouth on it. It's going to lower your vibration. And you're going to wonder why you're getting jammed up. Walk with authority, my Nagas. Because we walk in the code. We walk in the code, man. Allah. Hey, we just synthesizing. Photosynthesizing. Yeah, we talking about Antarctica, man. Nah, man, we're going to get to some flat drive. Love to kill the mail, man. But yeah, we are talking Antarctica. And I dropped this live, man, on the Shabata show. Hey, out to everybody tuning in, giving me great energy, and just giving great energy to the tribe, man, and the drop chatter, man. Get in the drop chat, man, at 432 the Drop Radio. The Lost City of Antarctica. This article was written about 4 years ago, people. So what? Just think about how much has taken place since then and how they're amping up all their bullshit, right? All their psyops, right? The Lost City of Antarctica, Shah claims massive ancient civilization lies frozen beneath mile of Antarctic ice and could even be Atlantis. Atlantis. Have we found it? Have we found Atlantis? Just by putting it together with the Perry Reese map, you know what I mean? Just by putting it together with all those Antarctica maps, you know, that the bro Kuda Mayo was dropping. I mean, did we find Atlantis? Well, we got to put things together, right? Because if we found Atlas or Atlantis, we're talking about a place that has since been destroyed, or, you know, an area of destruction, multiple islands of Atlas. Remember, Atlas ain't indigenous here. Atlas was hijacking here. So don't give Atlas no indigenous credit. But we know Egyptian and Egypt is coming out of the tribes that are flowing with this Atlas or Atlantis. Oh, yeah, we're talking Thoth, man, the moving island, right? Oh, we going to get to it. I'm going to fall back, though. I got a slushie. I don't want it to melt. Don't you hate when you make a slushie or something cold and then you get jammed up and you got to come back and you're like, damn. It's all melted, man. All right, so look, man, we're just talking about the melting of the ice, man. Antarctic ice. What's under the Antarctic ice? Well, here's where you know they going to try to... Here's when you know they telling you some truth, because they throw this word out there, conspiracy theorists, right? Or, you know, they say something else online, something, you know, you online. Whenever anybody got an issue with us, especially, you know what I'm saying, in any organizations, you know, they say, oh, man, they're just some online, that's one of them online teachers. Oh, man, the online politicians, online protests, you know. Everybody's online, but suddenly we get, you know, vilified for being online too. But you online on the internet all day long. But now we just, oh, you online niggas. What? Nigga, you was just online on IG? What you talking about, man? You telling me you ain't on IG, Twitter, nothing? You ain't on no websites, man? Well, all right, well, cool, man. That's good, man. Good for you, man. But, you know, either way, truth is truth, man. Conspiracy theorists. Anybody that has any theory outside of what's been brainwashed becomes conspiracy, right? Conspiracy, right? So let's talk about the cons, man. Look, man, did we find Atlantis, man? Now remember, according to Revelations in the New Testament hijack, you got this Revelations, right? You got Revelations, 9 and 12. Just breaking down this Abaddon situation. I think it's 12, talking about Abaddon. It could be 9. And you got this Apollyon or Abaddon or Wormwood, right, coming in for the keys to the abyss, right? We're talking about the abyssal ocean, right? We're about to get that map. But check it. If you're just talking Atlantis or Abaddon, you know, that makes sense why there's a Thoth, the moving island, you know what I'm saying, right next to it, right in the midst of things, because you're just talking Atlantis. Wouldn't Thoth's Island be near Atlantis? Wouldn't it still be near Atlantis, or maybe still a piece of Atlantis that he got away with? That's why it's called the moving island, because this nigga's on the move, but we on your ass, man. And we know that you work for our house when we're in order. The only order Thoth can have is rocking with the Nagas in the code. You can't rock against Nagas in the code. How many times you gotta learn that lesson? How many times can you take down Israel when Israel's keeping the code? Come on, man. We know what Joshua do. We know what Moshe do. We know what David do. We know this, man. You can't take out Israel when Israel's in line, in order. You can't do it. That's like the dragon scales. You can't get through it. You can't penetrate the dragon scales. When Israel's in order, when them scales are lining up, yeah, you can't tip them scales, man. You can't put them scales on your balance. It's heavyweight, man. It's heavyweight, baby. Oh no, Thoth, man. You gotta take a back seat and now take some orders around here. Cause you the goon of Ama Abba's house. You're the goon of our framer and shaper's house. So where do we find Thoth the Moving Island? We about to get it, but they're finding some things under the ice a few years ago. The huge continent is an icy mass and currently only inhabited by scientific researchers and penguins. Really? Thanks to its freezing temperature. Rumors of a hidden city have floated about for years. A hidden city, right? As conspiracy theorists, here we go again. So they're trying to trigger you into thinking this ain't nothing real. So just shut that out and focus, my nigga. Get through the hijack. Lego. Scientists claim the freezing continent is actually the home of Atlantis. Antarctica is Atlantis, man. And that's why on that Perry Reese map, right? Remember it showed this connection with South America, literally connected to Antarctica, but we got that on other maps too, but it had it like connected, like it was folding over it, as if this just broke off, and then the broke off pieces kind of formed a wall, man. Formed a wall. Look, man, are we conspiracy theorists because we believe that this freezing continent that was just frozen over in the 16th century, according to multiple maps, this freezing continent is Atlantis? Thoth the Moving Islands nearby. And then we got Terra Sancta, right? We got a Holy Land situation. So we see where Egypt is hijacking. And we see where Thoth is hijacking right in Terra Sancta, right? Go get that drop, man. I'm just chilling right now. I'm not getting linky. You know what I'm talking about. If you don't get the previous drops, you got to want it at this point. I understand we got a lot of new wave surfers, so I'm real patient with my new wave surfers. They ask for links. I do my best to get back to everybody. Hopefully everybody got their map pack. And that was just map pack number 1. Look out for map pack number 2. Ahab to the home team. It's all happening. All right. Then they go into their situation and, then they go talking about the Perry Reese map, and that's what we've been digging on because it has no ice. No ice, but they're talking about Antarctica's secret city. Anything to do with Terra Sancta, right? Anything to do with Terra Sancta. All right, man. We're just talking about Thoth, the moving on. Yeah, we're just surfing the wave, man. Don't mind us, man. Don't mind us, my naga. Don't mind us. A lot of y'all got back to me with some great drop. Y'all did some recon. Y'all looked a little deeper into some of these place names and started coming up with some great theories yourself. This is my whole point, is if they can have theories, we can have theories. If these hijacks could have a theory, the Naga could have a theory. Man, now Odin got a lot of land. And again, this ain't nothing that your grade school teacher's going to show you, so you might as well do some recon. Do these lands shift in and out. Some people said it's a ripple effect. I can dig it, especially if this wall wasn't always here. How long has the wall been here? Well, maybe our wall wasn't formed until after the 1500s, my naga, when they broke down the partition, literally. They just found us here, man. Look at all this new land. New Sri Lanka, right? New Punjab. We're just talking about more Indias, Khan. More Indias. More Indias. And a lot of y'all got back about this Saka Jawiya and, how she was helping out the hijack. And, they named the island after her, man. Because she helped them so much that she got an island named after her. Damn. Say it ain't so, Saga. Say it ain't so. Oh, man. So, how long have these barriers been here, man? We're going to keep surfing the wave, and I'm going to get on some drop on the azimuthal equidistant projection, AE projection that's so famous. I mean, right here, you're looking at it. This is the azimuthal equidistant projection, map projection, right? So, I'm going to read a little bit out of that so we can see where they're coming from. And maybe that might give us some understanding of what's happening with this ice wall, too. Maybe, what if there is no ice wall? Maybe we got to throw all this stuff out. Maybe the projection is showing an ice wall that's not really there. I mean, maybe it's some places. Maybe the whole thing ain't an ice wall. We're just assuming it is, but we don't have the planes to really verify. Is there really an ice wall all the way around? Or is it just wide open? Is it wide open right now at least? Or, maybe certain areas there is, and maybe these are special areas. Thoth, man. Thoth's holding down the Asian Ocean, man. The Asian Ocean. Come on, man. All right, so he's very strategic. What you need to know about Thoth, if you ever heard of a trickster before, this is one. This is it. This is the trickster of tricksters. The fact that he chose this little spot right here, he don't need a lot, man. He just need the right spot, right? He just need the right spot. Now, what is he running from? He's on the run, right? This is Thoth, the moving island. On other maps, it's called Thoth, the moving island, man. What is he running from? Why is he on the run? He's just chilling, right? Now, where would Peru be? Would this be Peru right here? Man, it's an interesting map projection, huh? Don't you normally think you got to get to Antarctica by going south? And make it right. So Peru is very close to this opening here, man. They call it SLEDOVAT. Hey, man, just for the wave surface, man. Let's hold up. I gotta write this down. I'm surfing the wave with you, man, in real time. Man. Come on, man. I'm in the hijack, man. You can't run forever, Thoth the moving island. Can't run forever, Thoth the moving island. How long has Thoth been on the move, man? We're just talking Atlantis, right? So if we're talking about Antarctica's Atlantis, we just got that. Antarctica's Atlantis, we got the great sweat theory, love to Jackie Anthony, talking about how East Antarctica used to be connected to South America and all this stuff. So Antarctica is no separation between South America and Antarctica. The question is, does it really form a huge ice wall or not? We're going to ask this question now. And this makes sense why Thoth is just right here, right? Because Terra Sancta would be like over here. And he's just hijacking the shit out of the Holy Land. But that's what they do, right? That's what the hijack do. Now, I'm going to write this down. SLEDOVAT. OSTROVU. All right, let's go for it, y'all. I mean, before we get to some great drop that the bro, Kuti Mayo, hit us with, man. Let's have a good time right quick and see if anything comes up. Let's see if Hans and Sophia, because, how many people are going to put this to the test, man? How many people putting this in the computer right now? Man, us, man. Me and you, man. Let's go. OSTROVU. Anything? Anything, man? What language? Oh, this is German? Let's translate this shit. Translate, brother. Translate. Czech. I'm translating from Czech. From Czech. From Czech. Czechoslovakian. All right, it's translating, I think. I never really tried to translate a whole book before. All right, so they're speaking. You know what? I need to know what that means first, man. So, All right, man, let me go back, man. What if I just put meaning? Looks like there aren't any great matches for your search. Jeez. All right, what if I do it one at a time? Let's try the first one. Anything, man? Come on, man. To monitor. I'm out of here, man. Come on, man. Say it ain't so, Thoth. Come on, man. Hold up, man. Let's talk about this for a minute. I'm gonna put the other one in too, man. But I think we pretty much got the gist of this thing. To monitor my Naga. Look what they're monitoring. The ice wall, they're monitoring. Man, the Antarctic Treaty has everything to do with this area, right? This is a big area, man. This is a very focused area, man. And look how you get to it, man. According to the As a Muzzle we're going to get to, you just go right to Jerusalem, right? And this Jerusalem is, look how close Jerusalem is to Terra Sancta, right? Terra Sancta. Go get that drop. Holy Land, Israel, Terra Sancta. All right. Peru, Terra Sancta. Nothing but a hop, skip, or a dragonfly. There ain't no separation, man. Some people say, oh, what are you saying? You know what I mean? The promised land ain't Jerusalem or ain't, City of David, Cusco, or ain't the Four Corners. I'm saying it's all relative, my noggin, because it's all relevant. I'm saying that what's the separation between Terra Sancta, Antarctica, and Peru, for real. Just looking at the As a Muzzle equidistant map projection. I mean, what's the separation between that and Kalalus or the Four Corners or Utah? It ain't nothing, man. It's just where you're set up. It's where, we're setting up, because it's very important where you set up. Look what they're monitoring. This island literally means to monitor. What does it say? Come on, bro. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. SLEDOVAT. To monitor, to follow, to watch, to observe, to follow up, to keep track of, to pursuit, be on to shadow. Whoa. Phantoms and duplications. They're using it in a sentence. This is why we must monitor closely the impact this suspension has on copy. Monitor closely. We will follow this process. I think citizens will watch. What is Thoth doing over here, bro? I mean, my sister, what's Thoth doing over here? Why did he choose this little spot? Why is Thoth the moving trickster monitoring from right here? Is this a big setup spot right outside the gateway? Because by the time a Naga wakes up and says, you know what, fuck this shit, man. I'm about to, hey, man, let's meet up right, here, man. We're going to hop on, man, we out of here, man. Right? So we take our boat. We out of here, bro. Atlantic Ocean. What, man? We out of here, man. Woo. We make that turn. We start hitting it up. Who's monitoring us out of here? Right? So that we don't, oh, man, they got us blocked in. Oh, we trying to make it, oh, they're going to, how we get through this? Right? We got to choose a different opening, my nugget. At least know that, right? Instead of going that way, shit, we might have to meet up here in Canada, man. Shoot out to Canada past that Pacific, man. We out of here, bro. Stop at some islands, have some, some Tahiti's or, what's it called? Have a few slush. Oh, man, my slushy melting. I got to hurry up. My slushy melting. All right, so we cut through them islands. Whoop. We could take the fun route right between these. We out of here. But we got a 10. We got a 10 out here. Now, is this what the, what was that called, man? The Iron Gate, you know what I'm talking about? Iron Giant, you know what I'm talking about? Some iron situation, man, which you know what I'm talking about. But the Iron Republic, thank y'all, man. Somebody sent that to me. I appreciate y'all, man. We in the ether. Iron Republic book talks about them taking a voyage outside the barrier too and running into these other spots. This could be a can or a 10, right? You got the Ocean of Nu. You got the Neptunian Ocean. What's the difference? Is one salt water, one fresh water? What is it? And look how this barrier got no ice, damn near, right? Basically iceless. You think this is play. And this one got all the ice. but it just got all the ice after the 1500s. Come on, Thoth, what you monitoring? Y'all want to put the other one in? Promise y'all. Let's see if anything comes up on this one. All right. Let's put the other one in. OSTROVU. Bang. Let go. Anything? Anything? Come on, Hans. What does it mean, man? Our team was informed that the translation for OSTROVU is missing? What? What, you trying to give us a wild goose chase? What's the missing link? How would you know that, my naga? If you never put it in, searching from Czech to English, our team was informed that the translation for OSTROVU is missing. Hey, anybody know Czech? Anybody speak Czech? They over here on this play, man. They don't want to let us know. That's being used in a sentence. Let's see if we can. Recently, the Maltese and Gadizan people were moved by the case of yada yada. All right, let's see another one. We're going to figure this shit out, man. It includes the islands of Sicily, and about 7 miles of other smaller ones. Okay. I'm glad that attention has been drawn to the existence of energy islands. I remember they called it Thoth the moving island. And now we got energy islands. And the first thing is what? The first thing we put in is what? Monitoring, watching. So these are some energy islands watching something. Another thing about these islands here. So this OSTROVU, man, you got a lot to do with islands, right? So, maybe, this word is this energy situation, but very interesting, right? Very interesting. Islands. So if I had to see any type of connection, I see a lot of islands popping up. So I'm going to say that we're talking about the islands. Let's go back to the previous one. That monitor, that follow, that watch, the watching, observing, keeping track of a naga, shadowing, monitoring islands. Oh, Thoth sure is a trickster. He set up islands that monitor the naga. Right here, right in the midst of things, right? So these are the monitoring islands, man. Damn. All right, so we learned a lot today so far. We learned a lot today. The monitoring, watching, keeping track of islands. Now, again, pay attention. Let's back up a little bit. Just pay attention to this map projection. This is different than your Mercator projection that kind of has the, classic look, with America looking a certain way and South America looking a certain way, and they're spread out on some rectangle situation. This is not that, right? This is like a concentric circle, flow. So you see it all looking like that. Now, I want to try to see, is this even reality, or is this a product of the projection? Does it even look different than this? We can't get stuck on any map projection. So I don't want us to get cozy because we see this projection like this is exactly what we're dealing with. You still got to pay attention because they are map projections, right? So, as we see this and all these islands around it, even if this looks like some cartoony thing or play, and again, look at, these areas, the abyssal ocean, right? So we talked about the abyss or the Abyssinians, right? Oh, that's the precursor for Egyptian or Ethiopian was this Abyssinius, right? We got that in etymology. So first it was Abyssinia, and these are all still Greek terminology. So you got the abyssal ocean, the walls of Asgard, the scorched waste. Now, just because they have them color-coded and looking like this doesn't mean it looks anything like this. So don't fall in love with the map projection, but just look how they crisscross. Like the Andrews cross, like the X, like the Tau, right? Okay, so pay attention to, this type of cross situation and what's being crisscrossed here. And, we're just talking the map projection itself. So get a good look at this. Look at where South America, North America, Africa, Asia, and all that is. Get a good look at it. Let's go. Bang. All right, so here's this map. They say it was, from over 1,000 years ago, but it was found by this Dr. Kobayashi, 1907, in the caves of Japan. So this ain't play, right? So you thought this was play. Oh man, that looks like some cartoon drawing thing, man. Or it's some knowledge being put out that you just will, dismiss because of your trigger, because of your previous education, right? So now you're brainwashed. Your brain can't even conjure up, any idea of a new land scenario. They just found us in a new world, right? They say a new world. New world, new world, new world, new world, new world. Nothing but new worlds, man. Oh, there's an outer space. No, you have an infinite plane, and there's more lands beyond what you see here, which validates this situation here with this 1,000-year-old, so to speak, map, Japanese map. So check it out. Again, the azimuthal equidistant map projection. It's not laid out like Mercator does. It's kind of a concentric circle scenario, right? You see these islands, right? More land beyond the poles, right? So, all right, we got it confirmed on a old Buddhist Japanese map from 1,000 years ago, or this cartoony looking thing. But yeah, they're telling me more truth than I'm getting in my grade school with the globe, because the globe just covers the center of Middle America, right? Middle Earth. They call you Middle Earth, right? But look at the map projection they use, and look at, we're digging on the aqua-desert azimuthal situation here. And just, look at it. About the North Pole extending all the way down to the south. Azimuthal equidistant projection is an azimuthal map projection. It has the useful properties that all points on the map are at proportionally correct distances from the center point. So what's the center point? That's very important, so you can know how you're reading this azimuthal equidistant projection. Based on the center point will show you the distortion. And what's the distortion point? How far does it go out before it begins to distort? Let's talk about it. And all points on the map are the correct azimuth or direction. So azimuth just means direction. Equidistant, right? We're talking about an equal direction projection. Let's go. A useful application for this type of projection is a polar, we're talking Antarctica, Managa, projection, which shows all meridians, lines of longitude as straight with distances from the pole represented correctly. The flag of the United Nations contains an example of a polar azimuthal equidistant projection. So they're using the poles, or in this case, the North Pole, to project out. But what happens when you project out, past a certain point on this projection? This is what we got to dig on now. They're tying this projection into the ancient Egyptians, all right, which is pretty much saying that it was used back in antiquity for star maps in some holy books. So the holy prophets, right, the holy priests were using a certain projection. The earliest text describing the azimuthal equidistant projection is 11th century work by Al-Biruni. And dig on Al-Biruni. They call him, I believe, Persian cartographer, but dig on it, and they're attributing it, to an extent to this Abu Rahan al-Biruni, but it goes before him, but they're connecting it through the Islam Golden Age. All right, so we got connection with Egypt, with Islam, but we're just talking about the old knowledge, my naga. The projection appears in many Renaissance maps in the Gerardus Mercator. Right, here comes the hijack projection. When? 16th century. Why did he come with a new projection in the 16th century? What happened in the 1500s? All these maps from the 1530s show Antarctica connected, all this stuff connected. So, all right, the earliest text describing the azimuthal equidistant projection is the 11th century Al-Biruni. So we got this Mercatus, used it for an inset of the North Pole region. So even Mercator was using this projection to an extent. You know what I mean? I'm seeing if I still got this other projection up. I'll get it in a minute, man. But it's, somebody sent me this projection, which from whatever time it showed North America completely covered in ice. So you see a big ice cap, and North America is listed over this ice cap. I gotta find it, man. It's pretty dope. All right, so what's up with this Mercator? Or, you can dig on the math and the center and how they're using this great circle, right? But, that's just talking about these cosines and tangents and whatnot. Limitations. Let's just pick it up from here. With the circumference on the Earth, right? So here's a hijack. Oh, there's a 40,000 kilometer or 25,000 mile circumference, right? We know we're not on no spinning ball, but this is how they're, trying to make sense of this projection. And this is what, most people that see the Earth as a plane, they go to this projection because you're talking about an ancient projection before the hijack. Mercator came around that 16th century, right? So the maximum distance can be displayed on the azimuthal equidistant map is half the circumference. So what they're saying, however they're getting to it, is that this is the maximum distance that can be projected accurately. Or, let's see, for distances less than 10,000 kilometers or 6,000 miles, distortions are minimal. So anything close, within the 6,000 mile range is pretty accurate, right? Outside of that 6,000 mile range, according to this particular, write-up on it, and I got to do more studying, of course. But, then you got the distance between 6,000 miles and 9,000 miles. You start to see some moderate distortion. Now you go greater than 15,000 miles or 9,000 miles, and you got severe distortion. And what happens with that? Let's see, if the azimuthal equidistant map projection is centered about the pole, whose antipodal point, which is a what? In geography, the antipode of any spot on Earth is the point on Earth's surface diametrically opposed to it. Antipode, right? A pair of points antipodal to each other are situated such that a straight line connecting the two would pass through Earth's center. So, okay, we got the North and South Pole, right? And here's the point on the top, and here's the point on the bottom, right? But again, once we get out of Hijack City, we just see that they're throwing numbers around. But let's just see what we're talking about here. It says the antipodal point lies on land, and the point is extended to the maximum distance of 12,000 miles. Now, remember, after 6,000 miles, things begin to get distorted. Between 6,000 and 9,000, you have moderate distortions. And then at past 9,000, you got severe distortions. So let's get an example of this. This is shown in the example on two maps centered about Los Angeles and Taipei, or Taipei. All right, Taipei, we're talking Taiwan, all right, or China, okay, or their China. So on one map, we have this antipodal or this map azimuthal center at Los Angeles, right? So you can look at LA, and it's pretty much saying that everything's pretty much accurate up until about 6,000 miles. Then you get a little distortion. So what does it say? The antipode for Los Angeles is in the South Indian Ocean. Hence, there's not much distortion of landmass for the Los Angeles centered map except for East Africa and Madagascar. So when we look at East Africa, I guess it begins, some level of distortion. And then, is this Madagascar? And I don't know. But let's go. On the other hand, Taipei's antipode is near the Argentina-Paraguay border, causing the Taipei-centered map to show a distorted South America. So now that they changed their center point in this azimuthal equidistant projection, right, they changed it now to near the Argentina border. All right, so what happens to South America? Well, you got Africa here. And then what? Is this South America? Is this North America? And South America almost looks, wow. If I'm looking at this with y'all. What area is this? This definitely still seems like Africa. But what happens in South America, man? Does it become damn near like a circular ring? And I'm just saying, like, when we look at these projections, right, when we go back to this guy here, and we see this ring, right? We got a question now that we can read up on this azimuthal equidistant situation. Where is their center point? Where is their point, right? Where's their antipode, right? Where's their connection? Are they, then we could look and say, okay, maybe they're connected right in the center, right at the North Pole, maybe, perhaps, and then do things get distorted? So by the time we start seeing a ring like this, and we don't know if there's a giant ice wall, maybe they want us to think there's an ice wall that we can't get through. You ever think about that? Maybe they just want us to think there's a damn ice wall, because if we think there's an ice wall, our imagination will create a damn ice wall. You know what I mean? Maybe, maybe there's just points of ice, something like that. But, as we look into this, we start seeing this distortion like this, you know what I mean? This is just distortion, according to how we're breaking down this map projection. So look into it. I mean, are we really dealing with an ice situation? Now, same projection as a muzzle equidistant, and you see how the UN flag uses the same exact projection, that we're connected with all this flat plane business, right? Come on, man. And all they did was put damn near crosshairs in their shit, right? Because they got this shit on target. They got this shit on target because somebody's watching, my nigga. Man, you didn't know? And you don't know? And you don't know? Oh, man, somebody got their eye on you, boss. Hey, somebody's monitoring you, dog. You ever think about that? I mean, everybody say big brother, but where's big brother situated? Where's the real headquarters? We're talking about the SLEDOVAT OSTROVU, which we're connected to islands or energy islands. And that SLEDOVAT is Czech for to monitor, to follow, to watch, to observe, to follow up, to keep track of, to pursue. Who's on pursuit? To be on to shadow, like a hijack, like a virus. Like a virus, dog. Yeah, man. So when we talk about azimuthal equidistant map projections, we can at least now attribute some level of distortion based on the point that they're at. You know what I mean? It's not going to project past, 6,000 miles accurately according to what it's telling us. And now we can at least look at this and say, well, even though this is the map projection, where's the distortion? We can't say this whole thing must be completely non-distorted, right? So is South America projected accurately? Is North America? Is Africa? Where does the distortion start to pick up here? You know what I'm saying? Or is it all 100% accurate? I mean, is Australia? Here's the question. Here's the question. Before we get to this great drop by Cootie Mayo, here's the question. Where does the distortion, where does the distortion pick up at? Look how fucking big Australia is. And look at South America. Are you saying that Australia stretches past, is that damn big? Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Is New Guinea this size? Bigger than New York? Bigger than California? Is that how big New Guinea is? Or the Philippines? I mean, some people got Greenland as being huge, right? We see maps where Greenland is huge. This is very small Greenland. Very small Greenland. So where does the distortion, pop off? And I look at this Australia situation, and it looks super duper big. Even New Zealand, shouldn't be that big. I mean, it's as long and big as Cali or, all that stuff. So, we see a clear distortion, I believe, with Australia, possibly. And then you got this whole situation here, that might not necessarily exist, It could just be, we're just surfing away. We're just surfing away. But don't it look like this? Just look on both sides, Why would they benefit for us to think that there was an ice wall? Like once we start waking up and knowing that we're not on no spinning ball, then the first thing that we're taught is that, there's this wall, right? Antarctica must be the whole wall, or it's a distortion, because for distances less than 10,000 kilometers or 6,214 miles, distortions are minimum. But once you get, in between the 6,000, 9,000 range, you got moderate distortion. Now we're looking at Australia, hella big over there. And then past that 9,000, you're severely distorted. Past that 9,000, you don't really know exactly what you're looking at. So, when we say how long has Antarctica been frozen, is it the whole thing? Is it very little? People keep saying, is this even real? Well, it makes sense that there are certain gateways over here, and that Peri Reis map shows this connection, with South America and Australia, and that sweat theory talks about the connection at one point between Australia and South America. We got different maps showing us that this North America is really Asia, so we know we're still not looking at reality. Damn, ain't that something? No matter how much digging we do, we still ain't looking at reality. So, as much as we want to attach to truth, don't be in such a rush. Make sure you are looking at reality, because we want it so bad, and that's all good, but just know that the books are being unsealed, and they're being unsealed for a reason, because you couldn't handle the truth. So now that you're getting truth, don't act like, oh, I got a little bit, so here's my conclusion. Don't start concluding stuff. That's not what we do over here. We surf the wave, man. We keep asking questions, man. Shout out to the fam that dropped some drop on this tweeter whale, man. Tweeter whale. Oh man, I gotta get to that. But you know who you are, man. He put this in and got this whole situation going on with Tweeter World, man. I wonder if I could just throw it in here. Maybe something will come up. Tweeter Weld. All right. Remember we're talking Czech. Now that we know we're talking Czech, and now that we know that we got this monitoring situation with this Thoth, right? Hey, man, fair use in your caboose, bro, man. If I didn't say so yet, fair use in they caboose, bro, man. Tweeter World. Say it right. Hold up, man. Make sure I'm spelling this right. And that's what you got to do, man, if you want to get that drop. You got to take the time. You got to put this stuff in. You got to recon it, You know what I'm saying? Go to a library. It's not all about internet research. And we don't just kick it on the internet. We got books, my nigga. So, we're actually digging on it. It's just that, if you know what you're looking for, it could be a powerful tool. And that's what we've been realizing. So Tweeter railed. All right, railed. Let's go. Very strange, very strange. Anything come up? Some more of this translate shit. Guess we gotta go for a meaning again. Let's go. Tweed de world or law. What if we separate it? Let's go back. Essays on theology, meaning. Okay. Yeah, man, we on their ass, man. When we start got to break their translations open, man, we know we on their ass. Oh, man, I got to get that drop from the bro. Let me see if I can pull it up right quick, man. I'm really interested in that. Hey, shout out to all the reconners, man. You know, I mean, just looking through my IG, my DM, man, y'all put in that work, man. You know what I'm saying? And y'all really do take, you know what I'm saying, and what we digging on, and you take it a step further every time. Every single time, man. And keep digging, you know what I mean? Don't wait on no one to figure out what you're saying. Like, just keep going so that, you know what I'm saying, you are able to build up a wealth of drop, man. By the time we get to it, it's like you got a bunch of drop already on it. It's all happening. Man, I'm gonna figure out, man, which one of my bros dropped that, man. Nothing but heat, though. And it's like every day, man, we get somebody new just coming in dropping massive, massive drop. And, you know, a lot of y'all been sitting, man, I'm looking at one now. Man, shout out to this, man. Shout out to the tribe, man. One, digging on that New Highland, how they were calling Australia New Highland for all this time, man. Before it was called Australia, it was just New Highland. And Antarctica, when you look that up, they didn't call it Antarctica, you know what I mean, for like 80 years, you know what I mean? So it was like an 80-year gap when Antarctica wasn't even being called Antarctica. Oh, man. All right, man. Oh, whoa, we got him, man. Shout out to CG from QC, man. Go get at him on IG, man. CG from QC, man. Ahab, man. So he said, I'm just reading out my DM, man. He said, the strip of land called Tweeder World, Railed, basically means World War II. Okay. So this is why we're seeing all this, let's see the ones that, let me go back a page. There we go. The war in the city. You got this Tweeder World. All right. So he said, also peep the proximity to Asia and Europe, which is where the war basically took place. What were they fighting for? Let's go back to the map, man. Okay. So yeah, man, I'm just saying, Drop Nation, you out here, man. And they just found this secret city, right? I mean, under the ice, they say, frozen under the ice. Atlantis, right? So we got Thoth right there, Atlantis right there. We got this Tweeder situation, this World War II situation. What were they fighting for? Like you said, what's the proximity with Asia? It's right outside. So everyone's fighting out. Once they knew that they had some, land beyond the poles, and it doesn't mean that, like I said, there's ice walls everywhere, but, perhaps it was, blocking certain areas. Certain pieces of land seem to have formed some type of barrier. And, is Europe, Asia, what lands are they fighting for outside the poles is a great question that the bro is putting up with. And Miss D came up with some drop on this potassium, man. So look up all this stuff, man. Dig on it. And hopefully you got your map drop. Hit me up, music at 432thedrop.com. And no, they're not physical maps we're sending out. That'll be a lot of printing, man. But maybe one day we will start printing out these maps because, this is very necessary, and packaging them up, you know what I mean, and making it real nice for y'all, man. But for now, we're sending you links because these aren't the links that we want to put up on the internet because they keep getting taken down. So it's a way for us to protect our links. And, we just get it to you for free, man. Just hit me up. I might take a day or two. I'll try to get back to everybody. It's been hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of emails coming in, and that's a good thing. It means y'all really want it. So it's all happening, man. Yeah, man, we got Japan right there. And again, man, Japan, 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 Japan. Worlds beyond a pole. Found by well-known physician Dr. Kobayashi's brother in the Buddhist temple in Japan, 1907. The map featured in the Hawaiian Gazette, January 11, 1907, and the original dated in around 1,000 years ago, possibly being made by Chinese priests or kana, or Naga priests, all right? Naga just means Nagush, right? Nagush is just king of kings. You can also connect the Naga to what they say serpent, which we know dragon. You got snakes and dragons. So they try to apply Naga to snake, and they apply Naga to dragon to throw you off, like they do a few different things, you know what I mean? But they put that forked-tongued serpent out there so that you only think about really one thing. When I say serpent, you think snake. When the Most High says, I'll send fiery serpents on you, you're thinking snakes on fire falling from the sky instead of a fire-breathing dragon or a whole team of them. You know what I'm saying? So that makes more sense. Let's go. The map is drawn on the principle of the Mercator as a muzzle projection showing the North Pole as the center. Right, showing the North Pole as the center. Now, is that the antidotal, point, or is that the, center point of this projection? And remember, these projections only go out so far before there's distortion. So at least we know what to look out for and to the questions to ask, you know what I'm saying, regarding the antipodal points in this as a muzzle equidistant projection, right? I mean, if we're going to talk maps, we got to know that we're talking the UN and they're putting targets on it. And what is the UN? What's the UN have to do with monitoring and following, watching, observing, keeping track of, and pursuing and shadowing? And why would they put these, these crosshairs up, man? Target practice, right? Target practice, right? Middle Earth, right? Target practice, right? So, all right. So we know who the target is. That's not hard to find. The indigenous people are the target. They don't have crosshairs on themselves, right? The indigenous Nagas are the target. But they just targeting us up right here in what they call Middle America. Oh boy, waiting outside the barrier. What they fighting for, huh? What were they fighting for? I mean, they were fighting themselves for these areas, and still you got a lot of area in the Amazon that they can't fuck with, they still can't get to. It's still being protected, just like certain areas in North America around that Grand Canyon and other areas are still being protected. So what does this have to do with this? Have to do with Terra Sancta. Terra Sancta. Or we're just talking holy lands, right? And I love all the great maps y'all sent. I still haven't seen a map of Antarctica specifically. And I know there's Terra Sancta on other maps. I know that because they try to connect that to Palestine and Israel over there. However, I haven't gone through them all. So, never say never. Hopefully I find one. I'm looking for one of Antarctica with no ice. All right. Take the Terra Sancta challenge. I need Antarctica. First of all, I need Antarctica. Clearly Antarctica. All right. With South America connected to it. The same thing. South America connected to Antarctica with no ice and the words Terra Sancta on it, man. This is what we're talking about. Right? This is what we've been dropping on because we got that one, that we've been touching on, by the bro Sekou, So take the Terra Sancta challenge, get the drop on Terra Sancta, man, and just keep surfing the wave, man. That's all we asking around here. Just keep on surfing the wave. So, with that, let's go ahead and fall back and enjoy some great drop by the bro, Kuti Mayo. Remember, man, fair use and they caboose, boom. And I've been meaning to fall back in this, so you know, we'll get a nice little chunk out of it and see how we do. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what we're looking at right here. I mean, this was just the intro. I was just introing. So guys, we did about an hour intro, my Nagas. That's pretty good. It's about a 40-minute video, 46 minutes. So, you know, we'll see what we can do with it. We'll see what we can do with it, my Naga. Again, Ahab the Cootie Mayo. And everybody else that sent me this. I know a few of y'all sent me this. So, you know, I know you don't do it for the accolades, but I appreciate y'all for, you know, all your contribution to the drop. Can you dig it? And definitely let's give the Ahab to Norb's World, man. What it do, Norb's World. Kicking that drop. I'm in your classroom just for that, man. Let's go, man. Let go, Norbs, man. We winning over here. Shabata, fall back, surfed away.
You're the demon because the tender windows didn't show the baby in the back. They hit your name on this call. This message. Don't call brothers that important. We have a room. My else called that gets to the brain. So this is forgot to make the call.
Apollo. Keep getting this message.
Get the money, get the crowd, get the crib on.
Yeah.
Get the dollar, get the hour, get the trip on.
Yeah.
Gotta eat, got a bomb, got a tip on.
My jigger.
Get the clip on. When the rich do quick, do a suicide. When the stocks up and down, like do or die. This song with the same ain't feeling right. They ain't hungry for money, on you and I might seem purple heart beating low. With a mind of a hive in an ether flow. Trying to give you that sound, they don't hear me though. Still trying to put my G in my ego. And Bama for a 40 in my stereo. But only spotting 9 in my copia. So many ways they be trying to disconnect us. Now every time you pass, I'll be missing you. I'm so in love with you. Keep getting messy.
Wow, look at this, man. Atlantis, right?
So much in love with you.
Keep getting missed messages. Shout out my bro Vic, what it do, man?
Mr. Call from his mama got him deep in the drama cause the police got him handcuffed in the back. And his little brother's tripping car crash got him limping. Nobody pay attention cause he's black, so he snapped. Grabbed the strap out his brother's backpack, fired 2 up in the air. Everybody hit the deck like that. Got lost in the ruckus screaming Black Lives Matter, and he know that it's a lie, but it doesn't seem to matter.
Not anymore. With My Health, we can find a policy that covers your needs and won't put you in a tough spot financially. If you've received this message in error or are not interested, press 3. To find out how to get health coverage and save up to $600 per year, press 1.
Keep getting this message. Got these media hijack trying to rumble in my ear. Caught vaccine trying to fill in with a filler. Bring myself hate so I can't trust my peer. Says no Jesus, so my mama in tears. Tell her forget religion and it's time to switch gears. Who was Pastor John, who looked young for his years, who fought for the word and the spirit to be clear, but hung up the phone, ain't trying to hear me though. My family drowning enemies, I'm feeling really cold. My aim is the firmament, I'm on my tippy toes. I'm gonna skip the trap with her wild mighty flow. I'm gonna light the scene like a lit dragon glow. I say pop off, get bent and let it go. I can feel Aguas through the ether. Hope she feel the rock through the speaker. And that I'm still alive when I meet her. I'm so in love with you. Miss messages. Keep getting missed messages. I'm so much in love with you.
Yeah, man. We'll see how we do, man. Shout out to my jigger, man. That's that missed messages. You can download it on the website 432thedrop.com. Go ahead and make it happen, man. And shout out to the real ones, man, for showing the Ahab, you know, just to get these messages out, man. You know what I mean? That song is about all the missed messages we get, you know, in our life. And you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's a good thing. Sometimes it's not, you know what I mean? And how we react to it, you know, it's really the whole story. How do you react to those missed messages, man? So shout out to Ma. Let's go, man. Let's go, man. All right, man. So we're going to take it from the top. Again, shout out to Cootie Mayo. Let's pop off.
In theory, based on syncretic research. This research is meant to unite people and open up discussions about our reality. All we ask is that you be kind to each other. once you watch this and start discussing and dissecting it. We also ask and strongly encourage you and everybody to re-upload and mirror this on any and every platform. Redub it in your language, do reaction videos, make screenshots, remixes, refixes, and get this out there.
All right, bro. So since you said that, I don't want you coming at me for no copyright strike, man. All right, I am doing exactly what you asked, man. Let's go.
One last disclaimer, some of the maps on these models and elements are not to spec, and I did them to be as visual as possible, so don't mind some of the maps being off, distorted, or totally wrong. They are meant for representation purposes only. So, grab your snacks and drinks, and get ready to have your mind blown.
Bang!
Let's go.
Lego!
Before we get into the details, it's extremely important that you have a full understanding of the construct of our geocentric electromagnetic universe. If you're not familiar with this geocentric model, we're going to leave links in the description for you to catch up on the basics. In short, we're not on a ball. Our Earth currently consists of 4 concentric rings of physical land, beginning and spiraling out from the 0-point axis at the center of the plane, just like a drop of water that falls into a larger body.
Just like the ripples, man. Shout out to the bro Martin Kenny, who also did a great presentation showing, some of this. So, here a little, there a little. Again, we're putting this together. We're just having an investigation. If that's too heavy for you, then be on the sidelines. If you don't respect what we do over here, then go get your ass out of our way, man, because we on fire, man. We charged up right now. All right, we're talking ripples, man. Who got the drop?
The water, therefore creating a ripple effect, beginning from its point of impact, concentrically expanding outwards. The very middle center of this vast earthly concentric plane is what's known as the 0-point axis. This is what we refer to as the magnetic North Pole. This central pole is not just a symbolical metaphor, but an actual physical marker, said to be a magical, or should I say, magnetic pillar, sometimes referred to as a holy mountain or the tree of life. The first big red pill you're going to have to swallow is that beyond all these dimensional fields of energy from where we are now, in our northern and southern extremities, are other extraterrestrial lands inhabited by other extraterrestrial civilizations. This is what we might call extraterrestrial outer and inner space, extraterrestrial outer and inner Earth. I know, it sounds crazy, just bear with me. Each of these 4-dimensional rings of Earth have...
All right. Hey, we're going to take our time, man. I don't be in a rush. Okay. Aryan would be the center. It's the pure race, right? So they try to make themselves Aryans, right? But we're just talking about the pure-blooded Nagas, all right? Who they say, got this land popping off right here in the center, okay? Now, Atlantean is what they're saying everything outside. So when you see the maps of a Mexim with the Moorish maps and, a Mexim here, Hammond-Kush, they're saying, yeah, all this is Atlantis. All these are, this whole thing is connected with this Atlantean situation. Now, I know we're looking for specific land, that has to do with this. And again, I'm not claiming Atlantis because they do. If you a brother today waking up and you claiming Atlantis and you are an Atlantean, they're saying the same damn thing. You might as well claim Lemurian, but you don't want to go that far out. Hyperborean is the furthest lands out, right? So we have this map. We got land, stretching the whole damn distance. So I'm not saying this is what it is. I'm saying this is what he's saying, right? So that we can see, okay, how can we put the drop together, right? So we got the center, right? Wherever this would be, on this map, you know what I'm saying? Right around here. All right, so that would be, on many maps you got land right there in the center. Maybe, wherever the center would be. Now we pull out. Now this, outside that center is all Atlantis, right? It's all Atlanteans, all the many islands. It's all the Mexim, right? And outside of that, you have the Lemurian connection, right? So you got the Lemuria that we know of as a sunken land. Oh, look at little Napoleon kicking it off, right? With his little Napoleon complex. And all this would be a part of Lemuria. All right, let's take a tour through Lemuria, right? What are they fighting for, right? Love to the bro. Gemenian, Anubis. Who's holding down Lemuria right now? Neptunian Ocean. Aten. So this is a tour around what they're calling Lemuria. So I'm glad we got this resource so we can at least, flow with what he's saying. New Appalachian, Saga Juwea. All this is a tour around Lemuria. Now you go outside of that, you got what he's calling this Hyperborean situation. You run right into all these damn islands, and I'm like, yeah, they got enough islands for everybody. We got enough islands for everybody. Now, you think your sun is hitting these areas, the sun we know, or is there another light source, right? Another sun, and that we saw in these other maps as well, where there were suns inside and suns outside. But Finding Nemo, right? This is a tour around Hyperborea, outside the outer layer. Osiris is kicking it out here, no doubt. Isis, all these, Anubis got a spot over here, Anubis got a spot over here, over there. Got the frozen wastelands, they're calling them out here. All right, you got Telekinesia. Wow. And look, Telekinesia ain't even a spot. It's just this area called Telekinesia. Huh? All right, Formosa Ultimate. All this is the Hyborian connection. Now, you're going to have to dig on it, right? So you got a Lemuria out here. What's it got to do with what he's calling Lemuria in there? So, nobody has all the drive. Nobody got all the information. We're just putting it together. It's just more Lemuria. And here we go, Atlantis, way out in Hyboria. So is this a renaming? Is it the same spot? Did these islands break off? What's going on? And of course, man, who's up here kicking it real big in his little boundary? He's chilling. Somebody said this looks like what they said, the great England. I think Templar said this looks like England, man. Hey, man. Hey, it's all happening. So check it, man. Horus, you got this boundary. You can't even get through. You need a passport to get to that spot. All right, so this is just a tour. We're just taking a tour. We're just taking a tour around Hyboria, according to him. So you got Odin, of course, and all these islands connected to Odin. Odin got the spot. All right, and you got some scorched wastes, right? Which looks like even that got some pockets of water in it. All right. Magellan Islands. So you got Hyboria, and you pass this Libris, right? You got Thoth kicking out here, what he's calling Lemuria. Inside is all this he's calling Atlantis. This is what he's calling. So we have some type of direction. Now I'm going to fall back with y'all. Let's go. 4 concentric rings of land.
Their own eco, lunar, solar systems and seasons, and their own sun and moons, which would be our current 7 wandering stars. Saturn and Jupiter being the solar sun and lunar moon of the outermost ring, domain, or...
Whoa, so we just asked the question, is there more sun out here? So he's saying that on the outer domain is Saturn and Jupiter. He's going quick, and I want to make sure we got enough time for it, but I just want to get these, major... this major embroidery, you know what I mean? I just want to get some major embroidery, and then we're going to fall back and let it happen. But just so that, for the new wave surfers, you know what I mean? Let's go.
Of Earth have their own eco, lunar, solar systems and seasons, and their own sun and moons, which would be our current 7 wandering stars. Saturn and Jupiter being the solar sun.
Saturn and Jupiter are the sun and the moon, right? So when they're worshiping their sun, black hole sun, won't you come? They singing today's sun. They're talking Saturn, Jack, and Jupiter will be the moon, right? So this connects with how Thoth is like, he has his moon connection and he had a sun connection. And this sun, right, is the sun that we're worshiping, Jupiter, the son of Saturn, father and son.
And lunar moon of the outermost ring, domain, or realm of Earth. Mars and Venus being the solar sun and lunar moon of the next concentric domain of Earth inside.
Right. but also see these as land territories. So don't just look at them like some orbs, like what we think of our sun as some orb. So I'm rocking with it, but I also think this Mars and Venus is correlated to specific land too beyond these poles. So, try to see it both ways.
At that, this Mars and Venus domain would be the main realm beyond our southern Antarctic boundary and the Aurora Australis electromagnetic field. Then,
Aurora Australia's electromagnetic field, and then we have these maps, right, that they're calling Antarctica Australia. So what's the Aurora Australis or the Aurora Antarctica? Let's go.
Of course, we have our own solar sun, Apollo, and lunar moon, Artemis, in this domain. And last but not least, Mercury, within the inner central realm beyond our northern Arctic boundary and Aurora Borealis electromagnetic.
But Mercury is also Thoth, the moving island, right? So he's a trickster. He's here, he's there. Right quick, I just want to go back to those Magellan Islands. I'm just getting some thoughts. And, man, love to the fan, man, that sent me about this Magellan Islands being these constellations that are, really heavy, man, really heavy. So I want to see if this correlates. Let's get back out here. Let's get back out here to Hyboria. All right, you got these Magellan Islands, right? He just mentioned something about the Magellan. I'm going to back it up. Magellanic clouds, right? So, all right, we got Magellan Islands and we got Magellanic clouds, are the two irregular dwarf galaxies visible in the southern celestial hemisphere. So we're just looking at these stars, right? Didn't I say this looked like a debris field? They are members of the local group of orbiting Milky Way galaxies, but now show signs of a bar structure. They are often reclassified as Magellanic spiral galaxies. So what's the... Hold up, man. Check it. Magellan clouds have been known ancient times by indigenous people from South America and Africa and from the first millennium in Western Asia. So they have something to do with these indigenous, right? The indigenous already know what's popping off. Al Sufei, a professional astronomer, all right. He got a book of fixed stars, mentions the same quote, but with a different spelling. He quoted that unnamed others have claimed that beneath Canopus there are two stars known as the feet of Canopus, and beneath these are the bright white stars that are unseen in Iraq nor Naj, and that the inhabitants of Tahama call them Bakar, or cow, or cows. But Ptolemy did not mention any of this, so we do not know if this is true or false. Now, whoa. Y'all didn't see this coming, man. Hey, look out for Precious John. A 57, man. Oh, yeah, man, we just surfing the wave. Don't mind us. Don't mind us, man. We just digging on Nehemiah 9 live in the ether. But, this Tahama situation sounds real familiar. Real familiar, Managi. Didn't we just talk about Canaan, the Hebrew king of Tahama? You think this is play, man? Or you think all this correlations happening in real time? You think I'm just over here? You think I had a notebook full of stuff with Tahama on it in the Magellan situation? I wasn't even knowing when I'm going to drop it. Look, love to everybody who drops me this drop because I don't really pre-plan, you know what I mean? So I don't have the names out sometimes of who dropped what, but I know, again, you don't do it for that. You do it to get the water flowing for times like this. So I appreciate you. Just know that. And please keep dropping it, and I will remember your name, I promise. But Canaan, right? Canaan is also Hanan, is also Canaan, and we got the different document. Same thing. He's the son of Prester John. He's the son of David and Lady Hannah. Son of David and Lady Hannah. How you know we're talking David? How you know, my naga? We're just talking David, Radon, like, man, we got the Rodinia, right? Rodinia is also this huge landmass that has Antarctica and South America, all connected. Radina, king of Rubani, Gadi, and Madi, or Reuben, Gad, and Manasseh. We're just talking David, who's the husband of who? Lady Hannah, right? So we know we're talking the same person as Raja here, Raja, Chola, Prester John. Here comes this Hannah again. And she's the, or he's the father, or she's the mother of Princess Dara of Rubani, Gadi, and Mani, right? We're talking about a princess or a high Amazon queen. Hanan or Canaan II, king of Tahama, right? So we got another Canaan or Hanan scenario. Same thing. Hanan, son of Lady Hannah, right? Another Hannah, same Hannah, also son of Raja Heraja Chola, right? Who is who? Prester John. Who is who? David. Dewey. Rodania, right? Okay. Right now I just want to talk Tahama. So if David's son is the king of Tahama, then Prester John might also be the king of Tahama. Right. Okay. Got you. This might be Davidic territory when we talk Tahama. Khan, let's go. Prester John 57 coming in. Let's go. Let go. Because now we're just talking the Magellanic Clouds have been known since ancient times by indigenous people, South America, Africa. Let's go. They took it a step further and said, that the inhabitants of Tahama called them Al-Bakar, and Ptolemy did not mention any of this. Al-Bakar, Tahama, called them Al-Bakar. So what does this Tahama have to do with where? What does this Tahama have to do with, let's say, South America? Let's just surf the wave, or Western Asia, or Chile. And what does all this have to do with these Magellanic Clouds that they're calling this local group orbiting a Milky Way galaxy? And just like we said, this looks like a giant debris field. Like someone just blew some stuff up, right? Like a cluster of stars, right? Oh, they got enough islands for everybody. You want to go live on the stars? You want a star in Hollywood? Here's the stars, Yeah, here's the Magellanic Clouds. Right next to Nemo. Way out here in Hyboria. So far away that they look like stars reflecting off the firmament. You're talking about look how big this is. This is what? This covers a long area. This is huge. It's a huge cluster, man. How many islands? Magellanic. All they did was add an IC here, man. Other than that, it's the same exact word. Magellan, right? Is you gelling? Oh, is you Magellan? Are you gelling? Well, my naga, is you Magellan? Is my naga gelling or is my naga Magellan? Damn. Now you see why we're saying these are the planets and these are the stars. This is this. Look how now they painted in outer space, right? A bunch of clouds. But the indigenous people knew all about it. The indigenous people, extra, knew all about it, man. Let's go. We surfing away.
Magnetic field. This inner star, Mercury, is androgynous, both a solar sun and lunar moon in one. It's sometimes referred to as the inner Earth sun, or black sun, or planet Nibiru, or planet X.
Whoa, so Thoth is the black sun. When they say he's androgynous, when we look at the alchemical dragon, he's both male and female. He's both sun and moon. Eye of Horus, right? And then he's also this moon, you know what I mean? But he's not our moon. He's their moon, which is also what's called this black sun that they're saying is located within the earth. Remember the halls of Amenti. He built the halls of Amenti, right? Thoth builds the halls of Amenti in the depths of the earth. Thoth is coming back for the keys to the bottomless pit. Thoth is Apollo, is Abaddon. Abaddon literally means destruction. So when you look up Abaddon, you also get a destroyed land. And that's why you know Abaddon is also Atlantis, a land that was sunk or a land that was destroyed or pushed outside the wall. Abaddon is Atlantis. Abaddon is Thoth. And that's why we got Thoth the moving island. Who's watching you? Both sun and moon, male and female. Let go.
X. Now, the full expanse of our entire earthly plane with all the different realms would be what the ancient Greeks referred to as Mother Gaia, the Kemetic Egyptians called the Benben or Mother Geb, and the Indo-Vedics referred to as the Bhumandala. In this presentation, we're going to explain and show how the spiral expansion of space, time, and matter began and continues to be. Let's go.
Let go.
This calendar is a modern interpretation and mix of the Aztec Mayan calendar, Egyptian dendra stone, the various Chinese and Indian dharma wheels, as well as other ancient cosmological and universal clocks and calendars. Many ancient cultures, civilizations, mystics, and researchers have created and depicted various cosmic clocks and calendars over the ages. Some simple, others complex, but one thing is for sure. They all knew that all time operates in a cyclical pattern. They knew that everything in existence has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Birth, experience, growth, and death. Sunrise, midday, sunset, midnight. Spring, summer, autumn, winter. Iron, bronze, silver, gold. You get it. So our cosmic calendar of time is a macrocosmic and syncretic mirror reflection of those observable microcosmic clocks, calendars, cycles, and seasons of time. And as always, our research is embedded on the foundation of natural and observable everyday reality. Hopefully, by the end of this presentation, you will have a better understanding of how different ages, races, civilizations, and realms have come about over time within our electromagnetic cosmic egg universe. So in order to understand our calendar better, we need to break down something known as an epoch. Our 4,000 years for one full cycle. What is the definition of an epoch? A division of time that is itself a subdivision of a larger period of time. Think of seconds to minutes to hours to days to months to years. Good examples of epochs. An epoch is also subdivided into ages corresponding to a series of chronological changes or events. An epoch can sometimes be referred to as an era, age, period, time, eon, span, stage, or point in history. Universal epochs are also sometimes referred to as a platonic year or a cosmic day. Just like a clock striking 12 and starting another cycle or day. So our epochs are 24,000 years, reflective of our natural 24-hour day and clock. 24 hours in a solar day, 24,000 years in a cosmic day. The first thing we're going to do is lay a typical 12-hour dial. We're going to follow this by also laying 12 months of the year and follow that ring by a ring of the 12 zodiac signs matching up to each month. The next ring is going to represent our 4 seasons: autumn, winter, spring, and summer. The ring inside this one is going to represent our 24-hour clock, with 6 p.m. being represented at 12. The next ring is our meridian. We have midnight, quarter past, half past, and quarter to. And inside this ring are going to be our 4 concentric lands, eras, ages, civilizations, and solar systems. As stated, we've already had 4 epoch cycles, and we are currently a quarter past the 5th. Now, just as there are 4 earthly physical realms, there are also 4 physical humanoid root races associated with the creation of each realm. These 4 root races are the Hyperboreans, Lemurians, Atlanteans, and Aryans. But there's
Now, before you even start separating this and, the hijacks never like, he's going to try to say, oh, this is white people over here. And this is this. I hope not. I hope not. I'm watching this with y'all. But just know, all of those are all Nagas, whatever they're trying to separate. The Lemurians, Hyperboreans, Atlanteans, different tribes of Nagas playing it out in real time. So stay focused.
Also a fifth race of beings that lives in the center, Mount Meru, of our Earth. This is the Master Root race, the Polarians.
All
Unlike
Nagas.
the other four, the Polarians are semi-ethereal, meaning not completely physical beings. They do not have a definitive skin pigment, size, color, or race. Having said that,
how do you know they ain't got no definitive skin pigment? You're just gonna say that so you could open the door, open the gate so that they can be, looking like you. They don't have no pigmentation. Don't worry about it. Come on, man. You're saying that they're not natural by law, man? Let's go.
that they are often depicted as being somewhat indigo bluish, translucent beings. The very middle or central point of Earth is where the Earth and the heavens meet, and this is where the gods live. We propose that the Polarians are able to transverse between the two worlds, the heavens or spiritual realms above and Earth/physical planes below. Anyway, these Polarians began the human race at pole position. They were the very first forms of earthly beings to manifest on this plane. All the other four root races were seeded by the Polarians, hence the term.
So what we're talking about is really Eden, right? Adam and Eve and Eden, the tree of life. So that's all we're talking about, right? Our people. Let's go.
Master race. We could also call the Polarians the guardians of the Earth. So this first Polarian epoch, or first 24,000 years, centered around the cosmic tree of life, was regulated by the grand heavenly first and largest solar system, Neptune and Uranus, the highest and first two wandering stars, or sun and moon, of our universe, albeit semi-ethereal in nature. And at the end of their epoch, the Polarians completed their first cycle or circle of cosmic time, 24,000 years of experience. This was the end of their epoch. At this point, the Polarians created their very first physical manifestation, and so the Hyperboreans realm and root race are created. A new physical paradigm emerges, unfolding out of the North Polar Center Axis, aka the very first ripple. We could also say the tree of life gave birth to its first physical fruit or seed. This process is what we might call a pole shift, the very first pole shift of our Earth. This new Hyperborean realm comes complete with its own solar system to regulate its physical space, time, and matter. The very first sun and moon are also created, Jupiter and Saturn. However, at this stage, they are androgynous. They are one. They are not separated. They only separate at the end of their epoch. This is the first domain to experience fully physical earthly space, time, and matter, all regulated by the very first earthly solar system. This Hyperborean realm that unfolded out of the center pillar was the very first Garden of Eden, surrounding the Tree of Life, or Mount Meru, at the center. Keep this in mind for the rest of the creation process. Every time a new ripple comes out, it is the new Garden of Eden. Over the next 24,000 years, during their epoch, the Hyperborean realm was gradually pushed outward away from the center as a new realm and physical root race was created. The second ripple, the Lemurian realm and root race, is seeded. A second pole shift, and again a new paradigm emerges, pushing the old Hyperborean realm outwards and away from the central pillar or tree of life. This is also where Saturn, aka Kronos, and Jupiter, aka Rhea, separate and start their orbit. This second realm, the Lemurians, also get their own sun and moon, which is at that point in time also androgynous, a sun and moon in one, which will in 24,000 years be known as Mars and Venus. During this epoch, the Lemurians are the Garden of Eden, and Mars and Venus, the androgynous sun and moon, regulates its cycles, seasons, and ages of this new realm and domain. Don't forget, the Lemurians were also seeded from the Polarians, the master root race, and not the Hyperboreans going inward. All races were created and seeded from the Polarians. So the Lemurian realm is the second Garden of Eden, and again, after a cyclical time, when their epoch ends, they too were pushed outward to make way for the third root race. The Atlantean realm and root race is seeded. This is pole shift number 3. Mars and Venus now separate into two and start their orbit. This new Atlantean realm, like the previous two, was seeded with its own androgynous sun and moon that will eventually turn into Apollo, our sun, and Artemis, our moon, to regulate and control the cycles, seasons, and ages of that realm. This Atlantean root race and realm is the one we currently inhabit. All human races in this realm of Earth are predominantly Atlanteans. You are an Atlantean. During this Atlantean epoch, we in this realm were the Garden of Eden at the center. And once again, over cyclical time, 24,000 years, history repeats itself. Atlantis fell, or rather sank, when the Great Deluge or Flood happened, and reset us from the center to where we currently are.
Us, right? So we ain't talking tribal no more, right? We just saying, oh, all earthlings are Atlantean, and we were reset, you know? So he's being very careful not to go into the tribes, right? He's trying to, they like our stuff, man. They like our history, man. They like our truth, but they like to include themselves in everything. We were the master race. We were then pushed away. We were then this, you know what I mean? So get the Moshe out the bathwater, but we see what they coming with. We see how they put it together, right? We spiraling up. Let's go.
Also finally setting Apollo and Artemis into their orbit. And so the Aryan root race was seeded out from the fourth and most recent pole shift. This is the current Garden of Eden. And to give us a point on our timeline, this Aryan root race and realm was seeded about 6,000 years ago to join the human race. And as our fractal...
And we know that Columbus is looking for the Garden of Eden, so wherever he's coming from ain't Eden. So everything can't be the new Garden of Eden. And everybody can't be us. So we take their little, you know, little smudge overs. They like to smudge over the tribal aspect of everything that's happening. And the actual Hebrews, you know what I mean, that's being found in Eden, you know, from the master race, right? Come on, man. We see clearly.
The pattern continues, just like the realms before it. The Aryan realm was birthed with its own solar system, Mercury, its androgynous sun and moon, to regulate and control the cycles, seasons, and ages of that new domain. And so, here we are, 6,000 years into the Aryan or fifth epoch. In summary, we have 5 epochs so far. The Master Race, the Polarians, 24,000 years later, the Hyperborean realm was created. 24,000 years after that, the Lemurian realm was created, then the Atlantean, then the Aryan. And according to many ancient scriptures, mythologies, and mystics, there are 2 more epochs to come, meaning 7 epochs, 7 earthly realms, and 7 root races.
Or 7 cities of gold.
Moving on. You'll also notice in this realm of Earth we are currently in, there are 4 main races. All the other races in between are mixed races, or rather mixes of these 4 sub and root races. The black races have their DNA lineage from the very first Earth root race, the Hyperboreans. All native black cultures of this realm predominantly have their cultural beliefs and practices handed down by the Hyperborean root race, sometimes referred to as the Anunnaki. The Oriental Asian races have their DNA lineage from the second root race, the Lemurians, and likewise, the Oriental cultures stem their beliefs and practices from the Lemurian root race, commonly and mistakenly referred to as the Reptilians. The Indo-Asian races have their DNA and lineage from the third root race, the Atlanteans. The Indo-Asians naturally stem their beliefs and practices from the Atlantean root race of their current realm. The Indo-Asians naturally stem their beliefs and practices from the Atlantean root race of this current realm. This means the Indo-Asians or Vedic Indian races are the original root race lineage of this Atlantean realm. And the white races have their DNA lineage from the most recent fourth root race, the Aryans.
The Aryan.
And of course, most of the white cultural influences we see today are seen.
Hey, look, man, I'm rocking with the orientation, but this shit right here is that wing wham, my knocker. They try to put themselves right in the center, right? But we're Aryans. Nah, man, you know who's Aryan? These so-called Afro people. You know who's the real Oriental? The so-called Afro people. You know who's the real Indo-Asian in Asia and India superior? The so-called Afro people. You know who's the Aryan, the pure blood, pure root, right in the middle? The Afro people. You're seeing stages of Afro people. And you don't want to ask the $64 million question, where does this energy really come from? When was it created? How many times was it created? And who was it created by? These so-called Afro people. Yeah, everybody doesn't have the same creator or the same creation story. You can't link them all into these root races from some same creation. And then came this, and then came these people. Nah, my nigga. These are all Afro people. Everybody want to feel like they have some connection here. Some people got to understand and overstand that there's multiple creations. And these Afro people had the power to also create other people to serve them. And they were slaves in these other areas once they were created by these Afro people. And then some made deals with these Afro people, and now you got these treaties. Yeah, man. I'm just dodging all hijacks at all costs.
From the Aryan root race currently at the center, Garden of Eden. The Aryans are what most religious texts and mythologies refer to as the current gods, or sometimes fallen angels. The Aryans are also sometimes confused with the Palladians, aka Polarians, who are semi-ethereal beings that live at the very center, Mount Meru, and not in the current Aryan Eden realm. Now, although we in this realm all appear to be different races within our different sub and mixed race lineage and traits, we are actually one race. This is due to the mixing of genetic codes over time. We are all predominantly Atlantean humans, only with slight genetic variances, most notably skin pigmentation.
Stop it. We don't all have 7% of Neanderthal in us, bro. We're not all the same. We don't all have Neanderthal DNA, bro. Explain that, man. Oh, well, the migrations. No, we're talking Sinusophilus. We're talking different origins. Yeah, man. We just dodging all that wing wham, man. We Barry Sanders this motherfucker.
Hair structure, eye color, and cultural and religious programs. In fact, most of the racial and religious divisions and wars fought today have their roots seeded from past wars between the four root races. We Atlanteans in this realm inherited our predisposed prejudices of one another from outside influences. Now, we hypothesize that all the other Earth realms would have many different multicultural sub and mixed races in their own domains, just like we have in this realm. Meaning, there are probably thousands of different sub and mixed races and cultures within the different domains across the entire plane of our Earth. But, fundamentally, every root, sub, and mixed race on Earth is of Polarian origin. Every physical conscious being in existence on Earth is of Polarian origin, with all the various solar systems and extraterrestrial civilizations divided and separated from one another by the various toroidal electromagnetic fields, aka the Van Allen belts. These electromagnetic belts do periodically open and close or weaken and strengthen dependent on the various universal and cosmic cycles, seasons, and ages. This periodically happens to allow the sharing or rebalancing of conscious energy, technology, and knowledge between all the different earthly dimensional realms. And we are fast approaching the next opening of these electromagnetic barriers. This opening event will be a revelation that will impact us all in this realm, collectively and individually. We can already see the birthing pains of this great cosmic event with the current so-called conscious awakening and unusual weather patterns. Moving on, we must remember that these physical constructs we call bodies are just that. They are bodies, vehicles, avatars that carry the real, living, Polarian conscious energy or spirit being within it. This conscious energy within us that is here experiencing, learning, growing, and sharing is what some might call a spirit or a soul. This is the real you, your soul, your conscious energy. And we all know energy has no color or race or nationality or prejudices, just polarity, positive energy, good vibes, or people, or souls.
Hey, these dudes is kind of gigging a little bit, man. They kind of get down a little bit.
And negative energy, bad vibes, people, or souls. And as such, the human race is just part of the temporary physical journey, individually and collectively. What many in modern times term as the matrix, or what the ancients called the Maya, the illusion. Next, let's explore exactly how cosmic epochs and ages work, using the current Aryan epoch calendar as our reference. You'll notice the outside rings note our months of the year, as well as our 12 zodiac signs. The 12 solar months are actually a microcosmic reflection of the 12 zodiac constellations. These 12 zodiac constellations are our heavenly cosmic clock rotating above us. As they rotate, each constellation has its own energies that subconsciously influence and help guide us consciously here on the earthly plane, both individually and collectively. These 12 months are further divided into our 4 seasonal sections: autumn, winter, spring, and summer, which in cosmic terms are known as the 4 seasons of conscious evolution. These conscious seasons are what the Greeks called the 4 ages of man and Vedic scriptures called the Yuga Ages. These 4 Yuga Ages are the Golden Age, Satya Yuga, Silver Age, Treta Yuga, Bronze Age, Dwapara Yuga, and Iron Age, Kali Yuga. A full epoch, 24,000 years, is broken up into 8 Yuga Ages. Therefore, each Yuga Age is 3,000 years. You'll also notice there are more golden or yellow ages than any other. This is because the golden ages mirror the sun's presence during the course of our 12 calendar month solar season. So as you can see, lots of sunshine in the summer, a little less in autumn and spring, and little to none in winter. Of course, sunshine in this case is translated into conscious intelligence. And obviously, the Yuga Ages of our universal summer are much higher states of consciousness than the Yuga Ages of the spring, autumn, and certainly winter ages. We also hypothesize that when golden ages overlap within different realms, there are no torus fields or separation between those particular realms. This means that when the time comes and the golden ages overlap, all lands that overlap can be crossed in and out of. In other words, those particular domains are open and free to interact without restriction. This is because they are oscillating at the same golden ratio of frequency or resonance. So,
man, it's all about frequency. And man, you digging this, man? We got about a little bit left. You know, I'm chilling. If you chilling, I'm kicking it, man. We could watch the whole thing. But yeah, it's all about that oscillation, right? It's all about that frequency, man. So all praise to Allah, man, that from the very top, we've been about our frequency, getting back to the 9 spiral, you know what I mean? Getting back into the flow. And that means playing your part, man, playing your position, you know what I mean? You know, really seeing, man, how you can be hijack free, you know what I'm saying? And get over these jam ups, you know what I'm saying? So we can have this connection that's all one. You know, these lands coming together. There's no separation between Antarctica, Asia, Africa. You know, we don't have no beef between any part of Mama. I love Africa. I love Australia. I love all y'all. I'm just being tribal. You know, I'm just waking up because no one helped us wake up. So y'all need to get the hell out of our way for a minute so we can, you know, get to know ourselves a little bit, start feeling ourselves, to have a feelings, to have a vibe, man. We need to vibe with ourselves right now, you know, so we can see how to vibe with y'all. Because you see how this jabroni's kicking it. I mean, he's giving some good info. I'm kicking back, chilling with y'all, but, you know, they need to insert themselves into it. When there's no backup for nothing he's saying in terms of how these tribes, how these whites are Aryans and all this stuff. Come on, man. Hey, man, we're done with this stuff, man. It's the 4th quarter, man. We out of here, man. We out of here. I ain't got to explain to you how ridiculous that sounds. You know what I'm saying? Not when you got Neanderthal DNA, Jack. Not when you got Neanderthal DNA. You have to explain yourselves how you could be this pure such and such. You know what I mean? So you come over here, it's tribal. You dig on it and just get a big bone of truth, man. But he's giving to you too. He's letting you know these blacks are Hyborians, right? So we're one of the first, or come from the very first root race. So who's in the middle? Oh, some androgynous situation. Come on, man. He's telling you everything. Oh, you know, everybody that exists got a little bit of us, right? Everybody that exists got to have some of this, right? So they got to keep dipping back into us, right? So this is how powerful us is. You know what I'm saying? When we tribe up, we're already doing it, just by being here right now, man. Because it's all about frequency, my nigga. Connecting, right?
Let's now map the universal, cosmic, and solar timelines of all the individual realms or domains. Mainstream science tells us that the Iron Age began about 6,000 years ago, which mirrors the reset point here, 12 o'clock. They also tell us that the Middle Ages were about 3,000 years ago from today, which again mirrors the timeline here. And this timeline is also the common narrative among most holy books. So, our calendar has our realm or domain beginning this epoch 6,000 years ago with the age of Taurus, the bull. Interestingly, the Old Testament of the Bible begins in an age where they worship the bull. This is symbolical of the first 2,000 years of Taurus astrological energy. After some time, bull worship ended with the story of God telling Abraham to stop bull worship and instead sacrifice a ram. This is symbolical of the change from the Taurus bull age into the Aries ram age. And again, 2,000 years later, Jesus, the fisher of men, comes into play. The Jesus fish symbolism is telling us of the shift from the Aries into the two fish Pisces age. And
there was a shift, all right. It was definitely a shift. And remember, he's ruling with the rod of iron.
Once again, as we reach the end of the Jesus fish Piscean age, we now see the effects of the new water Aquarian age. Aquarius, of course, is symbolized by the mixing of waters. It is the age of mixing, discovery, disclosure, and technology. If we were to set this calendar to today's date, we would be sitting at just before quarter past reset. 6,000 years into the fifth epoch, bang in the middle of the cosmic winter or iron age of universal collective consciousness. In fact, to be a little more exact, we've got us at 2 minutes to midnight. Midnight being 2020, minutes being years. Now, this is interesting because mainstream science has something called the doomsday clock. And on the doomsday clock, they are saying the Earth is 2 minutes to midnight or doomsday. It was actually moved from 3 minutes to 2 minutes on the 18th of January of 2018. And I'm sure most of you know that doomsday or apocalypse simply means a marked period or shift or change from one thing into another. The end of the old and the beginning of the new. And we are living in extremely exciting times for those who are paying attention to what is going on. Knowledge, truth, new information, and discoveries are not to be feared. They are to be embraced. This particular cosmic shift we are about to have is an important one because it's a cardinal shift. This means all 4 current earthly domains will simultaneously be experiencing their own doomsday or apocalypse or shift of season. So let's go through each realm's cosmic shift. The Central Aryan realm will be having a fantastic apocalypse, shifting up from their bronze into their silver age of consciousness. We in this domain, we're having an okay but confusing apocalypse, shifting up and out of our Iron Age into our Bronze Age of consciousness. Hence the so-called conscious awakening. Knowledge, information, and data are more readily accessible to the masses than at any other time in this era of recorded history.
Remember, bronze is also copper. You know what I mean? So, just think about this copper scenario popping off. And, you know what I mean? I ain't saying there's nothing to, how all this links up with their, zodiac. I mean, I'm sure they are connecting something, right? So, again, man, dodge your own damn hijacks. Todd Battle already told you. See how it fits together, man. Throw some theories out there because right now it's wide open, my nigga. I mean, if you know nothing else, just know that it's wide open. You can have any damn theory you want. I ain't here to tear down no theories. But, definitely, what I'm saying, I'm here to keep the code. You know what I'm saying? When we keep the code, as long as we're, all right, we ain't got no extra, energy between us and our creator, we can now connect back to the source and start really unpeeling these layers, man. And seeing that these cats have been key players, man, key tricksters, man. And, if we are just going from, what do you say, the iron to the bronze, all right, I mean, we on our way then, man. Maybe this little bit we're getting right now, you know what I'm saying, it's only the beginning of things, man. You know what I mean? We're on the road to getting back to our golden age, man. We're just trying to get them golden nuggets. And who knows, man, once you get to silver, maybe you get to gold just like that, man. Who knows, man? We just surfing away.
We can clearly see all these changes slowly taking effect, particularly in the more advanced regions of this domain. We get a lot of knowledge from technology. Now, the domain outside of ours, Mars and Venus, are going through a horrible apocalypse. A real doomsday for them as they reset or fall from their golden ages into their iron age of
Oh, wait a minute. So you're telling me that those that are tapped into these other energies, these idols, right? This, whatever they're connecting with, Lemuria, whatever energy, whatever they're connecting with, it's having a fall in consciousness. So, okay, excuse me. So we have a rise in consciousness going on with the Nagas and a fall in consciousness going on with these other, energies. Now, again, the Nagas is, I'm not saying all black people are Nagas, right? Because I'm talking about, this frequency, this tribal flow, connected with a high above the barrier, synchronicity with our source, right? So I'm talking about that. I'm saying there's a tribe of them, right, that connect, right into the throne room of their creator, and we starting to feel it. We popping off around here. And then you got other copper colored people, right, that, are different tribes that, have connections to other energies that might have given them blessings, right? They might call it connected to Lemuria or Atlantis here, right? You got all these guys, connected with Atlantis. So if you've been relying on that energy, that frequency, you're like, yo, what the hell is going on right now? It seems like they're catching up to me. Matter of fact, it seems like I missed something. It seems like I was walking around here, with all my idols. I was walking around here, with all my, philosophy about Kemet or Egypt or the powerful black man or the yada, yada, yada. And all these things were one big black hole, one big illusion. And the only thing that exists, man, is the source. Not the sources in between, not all the nectars of sources. I'm saying one power. That one marriage, that one connection, that one, love story, ancient love song, mama and pops, man, dancing in the living room. They try to put their Christ next to mama and pops. They say, or no, they move mama out the way. They say, oh, father and son. He's at the right-hand side of God. This Jesus is at the right hand. Where's mama? Oh, he was at the beginning, at the very beginning. He was there. The image, Where's mama? Hey, look here, man. The energy you feel is the energy of mama and pops, Amma and Abba. Finally making a conscious awareness in you that you have now a balance. And now you can really flow, right? Now you got a little capoeira going on. Now you got a little fighting style. Now you got a little Dracon Kun, man, Draconology popping off. Now you're, connecting the elements a little differently. And all that bullshit and all the motherfuckers walking around thinking they knew shit and connecting with this energy the way they thought they would. They knew the awakening was coming, but they were connected with another frequency and they're falling out of consciousness. And they're going to have to switch the trains, man. They're going to have to, jump onto the different side of the tracks to catch this new wave of energy. But again, man, We just surfing the wave.
Consciousness. And the last realm, the Hyperborean realm, still has one more golden age to go. What's even more interesting, though, is the nature of this current and coming cosmic shift.
Whoa. I got y'all, man. I told y'all I'm rocking with this with y'all, man. I'm chilling. Can we just get that piece again? Because remember they said that the blacks are the Hyperboreans. Are you telling me that it's the golden age of these Nagas? Are you telling me Lemurians going from gold to iron? All right, so remember the lands that they're calling Lemuria, outside. Let's take our time. No rush, man. Alkaline. Get some water, man. Y'all keep alkaline in May. You know what I mean? Definitely tune in to the Bro Yosef the Real, breaking down Great Drop. You know what I mean? All that detox, man, all that stuff, man. So, hey, all right. Remember he said, yeah, the Atlantean situation, right? Atlantis, right? Then he said you had the Lemurian situation, right? You have Thoth chilling out here. And he said this situation outside this barrier, I mean, don't be in so in a rush. It's good that we're watching this Drop Nation, so at least we can ask some questions, just like, is this really a full circle, or is it just a map projection that leads into distortion, right? And we could also ask outside the barrier, we keep thinking that they got the drop on us. I mean, maybe because they're coming off of a higher flow, let's say, right? They're coming out the gold, but they're going into the silver, or coming out the silver, however you're saying it. They're falling out. Now, he said the Nagas on the outside, right? The Hyperboreans, right? The Hyperboreans are already in a golden situation. And that's why you got old Golden Horse, so chilling, right? Okay, so these angels are just riding the wave, my not. Oh, okay. Hey, these angels, right? These dragons, these angels, these dragons, these angels are just surfing the wave. I mean, let's throw a theory out now that we can bounce off this consciousness energy situation, and we're all thinking that everyone's going up at the same time and going down at the same time. But nah, maybe they're just surfing the wave, man. Right? So they know all this, right? That this cat is spitting. Let's say it's all true. What are they doing, my naga? They just surfing the wave. They're saying, oh, y'all over here about to get a charge up. Right? It was all bad just a week ago. It was all bad over here, but it looks like y'all charging up. Y'all going into this bronze situation. We need to get the drop on that. Or they're saying, oh shit, we need to get up out of here because these Nagas is waking up and we can't control that shit. Let's try to institute martial law. Let's try to do this. Let's try to figure this shit out. Let's try to, keep their vibration into, some type of a fear spell. Let's try to keep their vibration, into some type of anger situation, right? So this is what we got going down, man. This is what we got going on. You know what I mean? So they're surfing the wave. I mean, maybe they just like, all right, we need to start boogieing out. They're waking up. Because what did he just say, man? Let me get it back just a little bit. Let's surf the wave. Let's go.
What's going on? Knowledge, truth, new information, and discoveries are not to be feared. They are to be embraced. This particular cosmic shift we are about to have is an important one because it's a cardinal shift. This means all four current earthly domains will simultaneously be experiencing their own doomsday or apocalypse or shift of season. So let's go through each realm's cosmic shift.
All right, let's go.
The Central Aryan realm will be having a fantastic apocalypse, shifting up from their bronze into their silver age of consciousness.
Okay. That's why they're trying to get to the center, right? Because they're going up in consciousness, right? Okay, let's go.
We in this domain, we're having an okay but confusing apocalypse, shifting up and out of our Iron Age into our Bronze Age of consciousness.
we too are going up, but the center is up more than us. So if you fly to the center, you're gonna reach some high-tech Nagas over there, you know what I mean? And they're watching us, but they know that we're coming up too. So it's all good. They're helping the way they can, maybe, you know. I'm just surfing away. All right, let's go.
Hence the so-called conscious awakening. Knowledge, information, and data are more readily accessible to the masses than at any other time in this era of recorded history. We can clearly see all these changes slowly taking effect, particularly in the more advanced regions of this domain. We get a lot of knowledge from technology. Now, the domain outside of ours, Mars and Venus, are going through a horrible apocalypse. A real doomsday for them as they reset or fall.
Horrible, my nigga. So they're going down, right? So, you know, you got to know which areas is the spot. It's not all good, you know what I'm saying, everywhere. I mean, maybe it was, right? So, because they're leaving gold, it might seem like they are, you know, supersonic, high-tech, highly intelligent. They got the drop on us because they was already in gold. But now they need to go somewhere and surf the wave. Or they need to, you know what I'm saying, get to the next, you know, spot that's coming up and kind of infiltrate that the same way that, you know, has already, you know, been seen and done, you know, repetitively. So how does this work, man? I mean, now we can factor all this in to the psyche of these individuals and really, you know, flip it to the hope that we got. Because we're over here like, all right, you know, maybe, you know, we could really depend on these energy waves, you know what I'm saying, on coming up right now. Let's go.
All from their golden ages into their iron age of consciousness. And the last realm, the Hyperborean realm, still has one more golden age to go. What's even more interesting, though, is the nature of this current and coming cosmic shift. Like we said earlier, the current shift is called a cardinal shift, meaning we are not only having a zodiacal energy shift, but we will also simultaneously be having a physical solar shift to mark all these changes. This simultaneous double transitional shift is known as a cosmic or galactic alignment. So, 2020 means you have perfect vision. Why 20? Why not 10 or 100%? Well, if you believe, like I strongly do, that we are running on scripts or scriptures, some that we haven't even discovered about ourselves, then you may also hypothesize that in 2020, we will all have perfect vision. What does this mean? It means on the 21st of December, 2020, during the Winter Solstice, there's going to be a great cosmic solar event that will be seen and experienced by every single conscious being in our universe. This is what is commonly being described as the event. Why December 21st, 2020? There's natural scientific significance of this date with relation to our solar system. Most of you will know that on the azimuthal equidistant geocentric Earth model, the sun coils up and around the electromagnetic dome that encapsulates our Earth for the summers, and coils down towards the end of our solar year to its southernmost position of the Tropic of Capricorn. And on December 21st is at its lowest zenith or y-axis point, the farthest out from our land center and the closest to the Earth vertically. This is what's known as the Winter Solstice from a northern hemisphere perspective. Once the sun has reached its lowest point, it follows the same gradient circuit, neither ascending or descending for 3 days, before it then begins its journey back up to the Tropic of Cancer towards the top and center of our electromagnetic dome of this domain. Meaning, every year, for only these 3 days of our year, from the 21st to the 24th of December, the sun is neither rising or falling along the electromagnetic torus field dome over and around us. The sun only resumes its ascension back up to the top 3 days after the 21st, on the 25th of December. Sound familiar? Dead for 3 days, only to rise again? Anyway, if there's to be any kind of cosmic solar event, it would most likely happen during this period when the sun figuratively dies and is waiting to rise again. Using the same principle, we hypothesize that all the other suns in all the other domains follow a similar solar system. As above, so below.
They dodge all hijacks at all costs, but they are telling you, man, about these phantoms and duplications and the metaphysics of the metaphysics. You know what I mean? Before you separate from the creator, just know there ain't no separation. If you're just talking about, you know, the cycles and the flow, I get it. Yes, I know what sun you mean. But not this Yahawashai. No. That's just a story of a story. It's a story of a story. Phantoms and duplications. Yeah. I tell you, man, this is at the very least, very interesting drop. You know what I mean? I'm glad that Kurameo dropped it and everybody else dropped it. Let's get a few more minutes, man, for the dismount.
As within, so without. However, obviously their seasons and solstices occur at different times in relation to their own individual ecosystems. You've heard us refer to this body of work as the Master Oscillation. That's basically what we're saying. All the luminaries have their own paths. Oscillations, secondary, third, and fourth oscillations, and eventually they all line up again, and eventually, they complete an even bigger cycle, fully lining up. And this only happens once every 6,000 years. So on December 21st, 2020, Mercury at the center, our sun in this domain, Mars in the next domain, and Saturn in the last domain, and all the moons on the other side, will all stop and align in the same direction, on the same path and gradient, at the same time, for the first time in 6,000 years.
Okay, now I can dig it. I mean, either it's something or it's nothing. You know, you would have to look into it further. This is something you want to study out. Let me know, what you come up with. But there is an alignment popping off. Now, he's at December 21st. Now, I remember that December... Remember the whole December 21st, 2012? I said, I knew December 21st sounded familiar. Now, don't some of the fam say that December 2020 is 2012? That there was an 8-year shift? Look up that, theory, And we're just talking about an 8-year shift, a recent 8-year shift. Literally like they've shifted the calendar, so that we think we're in 2020 when we're really in 2012. So that whole Mayan situation of December 21st, 2012 is in play right now. And this is why they want niggas to quarantine. This is why they got us tripping in the streets, This is why they're trying to get more control over us right now, because something's about to pop off. It's like they need to get their nagas in check. They need to get their slaves in check, right? So they need more. So they say, oh, man, fuck work, man. Forget your freedom. This ain't the time to travel. Stay where you're at. They're trying to cut us from all movement, communication. The whole Wi-Fi and just the satellites they're saying, and all the issues with the communication and the blackouts and all this stuff. And I mean, it do look like a scenario that they will eventually, start really blacking shit out. So, we got to be A1 with the real ones. And like I said, keep your circle tight. Get the, snakes out the grass. My naga crystallize. And now that you see clearly, like you should be seeing the clearest you've ever seen. So your discernment and your wisdom towards, walking together, tribing up, trusting each other, our discernment towards each other should be at an all-time high. You're going to see things naturally take certain shifts, naturally. Take certain, just different degrees of patterns, So surf the wave and, man, see what pattern is flowing around you and connect to it. It might mean that you got to start connecting to folks that you haven't connected to in a long time. I started having great conversations, man, with my big bro, man. I got a big brother out in Vegas, man, and we've always, had a great relationship, but it's been a while. So, lately we've been able to tribe up and tribe up like never before, and just to have that, I'm like, man, it took this shift, this whole corona, everyone's tripping, everyone's at home, everybody's in limbo. And then, it just makes certain degrees of, just that certain degree of shift can open up a lane, to an old friend or a family member or whatnot. So just be aware of that, And the things that shift in the other direction, let them go. They're being shifted out for a reason. And you got to continue to tribe up with the real ones, man. That's lining up. It's all about the alignment. So whoever you're being lined up with, it's a beautiful thing, go for it, man, and just keep using discernment, keep being wise, man. But the things that are getting out of alignment right now are supposed to be out of alignment, and that's just what it is, It's hard to make something in alignment that's naturally not in line with you, not naturally not in order, you know what I'm saying, with how you flowing. So, you know, don't sweat the technique. You know what I mean? Walk the path, my noggin. Sepher it up, man. Connect it. Let's go.
This is what we hypothesize is the long-awaited return of the Sun/Sun, or Christ, the galactic alignment.
This is their return of Christos, right? So take how they're flipping it, and then you say what does it mean? Is it the return of that, or is it the return of the Creator? Right? Christ or the Creator. You know, they can make it about that metaphysically, or because their sun lines up right in the center, or does that just mean that the Creator is lining them all up? I take it like this. I say it's the return of the Creator, and he's lining up all these jabronis. He's lining them all up. He said, line up. They got to get in line. They got to get in order, because Hawa, you know, it's making a nice intro. You know what I'm saying? A nice flow. You know, that's how I see it. You know, he sees it as this, Christ in the center, and boom, 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 boom. And that's, of course, how they're flipping it into their writings, right? I mean, it's being surely, you know, played out on many different levels and stages. So, you know, I'm definitely open to learning on all stages, as long as it lines up, though, right? Because right now you should have a foundation to line things up with, man. That's what you've been doing it for. That's what you've been teaching your family to do. You know what I'm saying? And it all starts with what? Keeping the code, my noggin. Ahab to the real ones, man. I see y'all out here surfing the wave. I'm falling back with you. Let's get it for the dismount.
Return of Nibiru, or Planet X, or consciousness. The great...
All right, hold up. And return to Nibiru. So again, take that to that Revelations, I believe it's 9, could be 12, where it's talking about wormwood, right? And Apollyon coming back in its return, you know, the star falling from the skies and all that stuff like that. You know, everything's lining back up. Let's go.
Solar event. This cosmic solar alignment will take 3 days to fully align, starting on the 21st of December and ending on the 25th of December. The electromagnetic torus fields in all 4 realms will either disappear or open up or weaken due to this galactic solar alignment.
Hold up. So what y'all think gonna happen, man? I mean, everyone got this feeling in the air, man. It's definitely a feeling in the air. You know what I mean? It's all happening right now. You know what I mean? So again, just be happy. You know what I mean? Wherever you get lined up at, just find a point of joy and just try to connect with your Creator. Matter of fact, connect with your Creator. Don't try. You know, right now it's just time, because what y'all think gonna happen for real on December 21st, man? They're saying this sun returning. I mean, we talking Dawi. You know what I'm saying? We talking Joshua, Kitsukoto. You know we got them all coming, right? Elijah, right? Elijah's popping up somewhere too, right? Yeah. What y'all think happening, man? Y'all let me know, man, in the comments, man. You know what I'm saying? What do you think's about to pop off this year? And is this what this corona means? Crown, by the way, right? This crown virus is all about. Let's go.
This is the opening of the portals or windows of the heavens spoken of in the Bible. This opening should occur for 7 days, from the 25th to the 31st of December, 2020.
Okay.
That also means everyone on Earth will all be able to see all the different wandering solar systems of all the domains clearly in our skies. Everyone will have 2020 vision. And if you think about it logically, if all the luminaries are at their lowest points, that would make everything above us easy to see, bright, and crystal clear.
Right, the stars will fall to Earth, right? Ain't that what the script say? You know what I mean? The stars are gonna fall to Earth. And now they're saying that it's gonna be at their lowest right there. Is it all happening, man?
On a side note, isn't it interesting that we've all been conditioned to be the most busy during the specific time of year every year, and blinded to the Earth's true oscillations, signs, and beauty?
Oh, not this year. Shit, we're gonna be stay-at-home orders. We ain't gonna be Christmas shopping this year, Jack.
Yeah, we celebrate. However, the ways we do it and the reasons we do it are perverted. Even with how many trees we cut down every year to carry out a ritual, which could actually be a geocentric ritual to begin with.
Yeah, that's Saturnalia, Jack. That's what we just talked about. Ain't gonna be no ho 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 this year, Jack. Let's go.
Tree of life, the Christmas tree. This period of time is what the ancient cultures were describing when they said there was a time when the sky fell. Many ancient cultures also describe a time where there were many suns and many moons in our sky, and we believe history is about to repeat itself again. This phenomenon will affect and change our atmospheric conditions as well.
I mean, is that why they spraying so much, man, to distort the sky so we can't even see these things approaching, right? But we're seeing all this stuff pop up in certain channels, do a good job at exposing certain orbs or oh, there's a sun behind the sun, or, you know, all kind of things, man. So it's almost like they are already popping up, though. Let's go.
These events periodically happen over cyclical time in various scales. The last big one occurred in 1859 and was called the Carrington event. Feel free to look it up. The one coming in 2020 is going to be much, much bigger. This solar alignment is meant to realign cosmic energy and consciousness within the various earthly domains and realms of our Earth. This energy blast will begin at the center of the Earth, or the North Pole. It will spiral outwards towards the edge and bounce back towards the center over a very short period of time. The event itself will be triggered by an electromagnetic sonic boom that will look like what we know as a nuclear atomic bomb. Don't worry though, it will not be an atomic bomb. However, it will positively be nuclear. It will give humanity a new, clear vision for the future.
Hold up, man. It sound like that gamma radiation. I love to come fresh, man. It sound like that charge up, man, Hawa's talking about, man. You know what I mean? We're reading that Zechariah 14, right? Zechariah 14, we're talking about, oh, man, I'm going to change the countenance. You know what I'm saying? To my holy ones, man, you're going to be shining like the stars, right? But to them wicked ones, they're going to have a disgusting countenance, right? They're going to get hit with something, right? I mean, you know, we're just trying to make sense out of this all. And again, when we talk about these outer areas possibly being the stars or possibly being the other planes, right? Planet is just planes. So when they talk about the stars falling down, you know, perhaps, you know, you'll see a bunch of balls, or maybe we're just talking about the lands, you know, that are separated now, kind of coming together and literally connecting. And, you know, it's interesting. You know what I'm saying? Will these lands all kind of come together like some supercontinent? You know, what's really going on, man? I'm just surfing the wave with you, my knock.
Individually and collectively.
Let go.
It will give us 2020 vision.
Let go.
We suspect the current powers that be will attempt to use this natural cosmic event as the ultimate false flag. They may say aliens did it, or it was caused by global warming, or an attack from across the world. This sonic boom of electromagnetic energy may shut down our entire electric grid instantaneously, causing a collapse of our financial, socio-economic, political, and collective cultural existence as we know it. And thus, this event may be used to pave the way for a new order in our world. But this cosmic event is not to be feared. It is a natural process to allow growth within our individual and collective consciousness. The greenish astral rays that this event will create will cover the entire plane of our Earth for a short period of time. Again, it is not to be feared. Governments and authorities will most likely tell us that this green mist caused by this event is a toxin. They will tell us to stay indoors and not go outside into the...
Uh-oh, tenderoni. Oh no, it's mutated. It's turned green. Uh-oh, and they're going to say, no, don't get none of that green mist. But the real Naga's going to be like, shit, that's that good.
Radiation. Avoid it at all costs. They will say it's harmful radiation.
Radiation, man. Hey, let me just back it up a little bit, man. That's cray, man. Because they're already prepping us right now. We got the mask already, man. So we can't breathe, right? I can't breathe.
That this event will cover the entire plane of our Earth for a short period of time. Again, it is not to be feared. Governments and authorities will most likely tell us that this green mist caused by this event is a toxin. They will tell us to stay indoors and not go outside into the radiation. Avoid it at all costs. They will say it's harmful radiation. And it will be. For those who have heavy metals in their bodies, i.e. vaccines, iron from meat eating, etc. But for those without harmful chemicals in their bodies, the radiation will radiate and activate dormant DNA.
Whoa. Whoa. It ain't that hard when you transition to vegan. Do. Hey, the thing about this meat right now is that you don't even know if you're eating meat, right? So, we all got our cravings and our things, man, but we got to really, for the sake of our charge up, our charge up got to be more important than that craving that we got. I mean, you got to take it that serious. If you don't take your charge up more, if you don't take your charge up more serious than that craving of meat, then you're proving to yourself, where your priorities are. That's all I'm saying. Hey, look, just think about it. Think about it, man. You know what I mean? So, other than the diet, you got the frequency, just that hate and that fear and everything that's pumping out with this, virus. All this lowers your frequency, so that you're not able to get charged up the same. So, everything we're doing, detox, again, love to not inspire for kicking that detox drop. He sent me a gang of links on that. I still got to get to. Yosef got the drop on that, talking about that borax. Go check out his channel. I mean, hey, the information's out here, man, to get, just to make sure you got that vessel, ready, for that Hawa flow. You know what I mean? Let's go.
Potentially giving you supernatural abilities.
Whoa.
Maybe not Superman-like, however, a heavy increase.
Whoa. You about to have
from meat eating.
Supernatural abilities. Again, they try to blend themselves into the story. What he's talking about, he's talking really, even if you don't know, it's specifically about so-called black people. That's charging up. That's keeping the code, right? Keeping the code puts you into a higher frequency, right? Your vessel gets even more ready for a charge up. Your Shabbat, your rest, gets you even more ready for a charge up. Ahab, to everybody that charged up this Shabbat. You feel this charge up with me? Let's go. So we just getting ready, man, for the charge up to have supernatural abilities, right? That's when a Naga goes Naga.
Etc. But for those without harmful chemicals in their bodies, the radiation will radiate and activate dormant DNA, potentially giving you supernatural abilities. Maybe not Superman-like, however, a heavy increase in consciousness and your five senses will be expected. And for those of us planning to make the pilgrimage up north to the central realm of our Earth, aka the Garden of Eden, this will be our window of opportunity. Many of you here will also know the Mayans predicted the end of their calendar year or the apocalypse.
Right, that's what we was talking about. 2012, same day, right? Or are we in 2012 today? And what's about to pop off this year, my Nog?
This would happen on the 21st of December, 2012. Take note of this date, December 21st, 2012. The Bible also talks about the 7 trumpets of preparation before the return of Christ or the Son of God. And after the 7th trumpet, he, the great Son, will return. Well, we hypothesized that the Mayans were spot on with their prediction. Their December 21st, 2012 date marked the beginning of the end. And the 7th trumpet, of course, 7 years later, December 21st, 2019. Which means December 21st, 2020 will be the first year after the 7 trumpets, the 8th year. 8, of course, being the number of completion. And it is also written that everyone on earth will witness the return of Christ consciousness or the Son of God. Side note, we are just citing scriptures. None of us on the team here are religious or trying to push any dogma on anyone. On the 16th of November, 2017, we had a very strange phenomenon occur in this realm. Many of you will remember the red sun and red skies we witnessed and experienced in most of the world. We hypothesize this was a sign of what's to come for those who are paying attention. I know everyone here probably witnessed and experienced this phenomenon, but how many of you actually took note? Of course, mainstream narrative at the time was that it was nothing important, just dust from the desert blocking the sun. And so, that little solar event came and went with hardly anyone taking note. Well, for those with eyes to see and ears to hear, please take note. Moving on, we hypothesize that the opening of these electromagnetic torus fields on the 25th of December 2020 will create an atmospheric plasma discharge due to all the different solar systems of our cosmos being in direct contact with one another. This will create a rainbow effect atmosphere all over Earth in all the realms, an atmospheric twilight, if you will. More importantly, though, this opening event will also allow for physical travel between all 4 realms or domains for those with the technology or means to do so. We might call this real interdimensional or outer or inner space travel. Here's another big red pill. NASA has openly admitted on numerous occasions that we humans cannot go past low Earth orbit or beyond the Van Allen electromagnetic belts or domes. However, during this period, we believe we will finally be able to do so. And what does that mean for us? Well, all these different realms are going through their own individual cosmic shifts, seasons, and ages. Because the spiral ripple began at the center, it technically means that, at the center, the inner dome or realm is 3,000 years ahead of us. They have already had 3,000 years of Bronze Age, where we in this realm haven't yet. Our reset happened 3,000 years after theirs, which means, during this 7-day cosmic event, anyone able or allowed to enter this inner realm will technically be time traveling 3,000 years into the future, or ahead of time. In layman's terms, I'm saying that this inner domain is 3,000 years ahead of us, technologically, physically, mentally, spiritually, and consciously. And
All right. You remember a drop, man, from 2016 off the balcony. I said, I think we know how to time travel. Backwards and forwards in time. So if the center is 3,000 years ahead, then you're going back in time. I mean, you know what I mean? You know, it's really just a clockwise, counterclockwise situation. You know, when you talk the time loops, we got this drop about how you got to go in a certain direction. I think it was 12,000 miles east or west in order to jump into another time, another flow. So it wasn't about, it was almost this guy going straight. All you got to do is go straight. And then you do this time loop situation. So that correlates a little bit with this. If I'm over here and I go straight, eventually, to past 12,000 miles, I'm looping or going into forward or backwards in time. Now, you can also look at it as going clockwise or counterclockwise, as east and west are really clockwise and counterclockwise. By really spinning, right, you could spin in a certain direction, that same figure. And I got to get that old drop so I can see how he came up with the 12,000 miles, but that's how he had broke it down. And, so it's really about going east or west, spinning, right, east or west. That's why you got them time machines and they were doing all that spinning, right? So they're spinning to at least, I guess, 12,000 miles, or, in between. So you can say, okay, I want to go further than that, then I have to go further than that. I need to go, this way, east or west, man, spinning east or west, man. Spiraling up, spiraling out. I mean, it goes on, different ways to think about this. But, yeah, you got some time traveling Nagas, though, right? They said Jay-Z, his old pictures of, different people, in different time periods. And like, these are time travelers. Well, hey, it depends on where they go. So if they go forward in time this way, then maybe their islands over there is some other areas where they got, they can go back in time, you know what I'm saying, and affect things in the future by going out of the ice wall, tapping in, and then coming back into the future. And when they say the Hebrews came from the future and that spirit science dropped, the Hebrews are from the future. Does that mean the Hebrews are just from this Polarian situation that he keeps talking about? These, also he said these blacks are Hyperboreans too. So that's interesting, right? How can we be, the root race here, but, anyway, man, you know what I'm talking about. So, you going in the future or the past. If this is the original Garden of Eden, then, a Naga was in it. So, the future or the past. And Nagas are from the future, right? Let's go, man. Let's go.
Yes, this is where we...
So the Nagas are from the center, right? Center, forward, future, past. Y'all help me put this together. Future, past, center, forward, and the future. Let's go.
Propose the concept of time travel into the future comes from. And on the flip side, As the ripples shifting outwards towards the Mars domain, they would now be 3,000 years behind us. So, going from our plane to theirs, we would be time traveling backwards 3,000 years. So,
right. So when they talk about, oh, Mars used to be this and used to be that, it still is, because you're going back in time. Whoa. So when they're going to, is what he's saying, man, that when they go to the outer worlds, they're going back in time? And then back in time, I guess you got, you know, all these beautiful lands untouched back in time. And is this how they're affecting the future? Because if you can affect the past, right, you can cause a ripple there, you can cause a ripple here. Is this how they got the drop? Is this how they're controlling things? Oh, man, time's up, Jack.
Why on earth do the leaders of the free world think it's necessary to militarize space all of a sudden?
Damn, he's saying everything we say.
And why on earth are space agencies and governments all talking about being the first to colonize Mars? Let's look at the definition of colonization. The act or process of settling among and establishing control over the indigenous people of an area. Or
the act or process of settling among and establishing control over indigenous people. So you need indigenous people in the definition, which means when you talk Mars, you're saying that there's already indigenous people in these areas. If you're a colonizer, then you need to control indigenous people. Colonization happened. The control over the Naga happened. The control over the indigenous happened. Let's go.
Or the action of appropriating a place or domain for one's own use. Makes you wonder if the very same so-called elite royal bloodlines and families who colonized this realm during our reset fall from gold to iron 3,000 years ago are about to do the same thing to this outer domain currently falling from their golden to iron age. As they say, there's nothing new under the sun, and history all.
Whoa, so they're just waiting for the niggas to fall out of consciousness. So once we're coming up in consciousness, they're like, oh shit, we gotta go, just like we said. Let's go back and forth, cause some ripples. And then since they're falling out, this is a good time to start colonizing these areas since they're, you know, starting to lose their powwow now. What causes the Naga to fall out of consciousness? Is it just, you know, does it just have to happen? Or is there a separation occurring, you know, with the source? And is this always going to be some cyclical, you know what I'm saying, always repetitive situation? Or, you know, will one day everything be all Zon, man? Everything coming up together? You know, these are great questions. We don't got the answers, but we damn sure find some great questions in Drop Nation.
Always repeats itself. With that in mind, let's rewind to something that happened very recently. December 22nd, 2017, the SpaceX Falcon launch. Note the date too, December 22nd, 2017. Wonder how many of you recall the unusual effects witnessed within this particular launch. It looked like the Falcon X was trying to pierce through something. Or perhaps, testing the outer electromagnetic belt or torus field. Kinda makes you wonder, were they trying to beat the clock? Perhaps they succeeded and the secret colonization of Mars is already underway as we speak, hence the militarization of space. However, if they didn't succeed, I'm willing to bet we're going to see another very similar attempt around the same time this year and next. Okay, let's stop for a second. I had to add this after the final edit. This script was written months and months ago. I got this script months and months ago, and as I was developing it, I wondered what would happen mid to late November as I was rendering that part. And the universe didn't let me down. Late November, we have Mars Insight. Crazy. Interdimensional earthly time travel is not just a matter of anyone packing their bags and simply going there. There are obviously many extenuating circumstances, like universal and natural laws, that determine how, when, and who can travel where. For instance, the advanced Bronze and Silver Age beings at the center would not want or allow any primitive Iron Age being from the outside into their domain, as it would unbalance their natural harmonic existence. So anyone here, from this realm, wishing to travel ahead of time into this inner realm, would generally need to be, quote-unquote, ahead of their time here, where we currently are, vibrating at a high frequency spiritually, mentally, physically, mind, body, and soul.
And he's going to say, that's me. We're taking a trip to the North Pole. Well, bro, you're going to have to dig on the truth first. You're going to have to dig, into the tribes, my knock. You're going to have to dig on these dragons first, man. If you really want to get behind the walls, you're going to have to be in that frequency. Like you said, you're going to have to be charging up already to get access anyway. So keep the code, right? You're going to need your jacans to climb above over these mountains and hills and ice walls. Again, don't think about no major separation in these lands, man. What's separation to a dragon? What's distance to a dragon? Right? So when you connect with your dragon, you don't have to take their ways. You don't have to, listen to how they travel. You need to put it all in play, right? He got some drop, but he's not putting it all in play, right? He's not bringing in the dragons, right? He's not bringing in the tribes, right? He's, doing his best to give some energy out, which is cool, man. I appreciate this drop. It's all good. And thanks again to Caramel for dropping it. You know what I mean? But again, man, what's distance to a dragon? So it's all about charging up to gain access. Now you got the key. What's the Presta all about? Who got the keys?
Many scriptures call this the days of reckoning, or judgment day, or the return of a messiah or messenger of some kind. In this case, we believe this is the so-called event, the return of Messiah. Anyway, let's move on. Those who are ahead of their time in this realm.
Who's the Messiah? Hosea 3:5. Let's go.
Will somehow be given the opportunity to go up ahead of time into this inner or upper realm when the time comes. Likewise, we also believe that those still lagging or holding on to old, outdated, backwards paradigms will of course naturally be drawn back in time to the outer realm. This is where we hypothesize our current elite establishment is planning on going to install a new world order for those beings out there. Most people in our realm, though, will be staying here, in this domain, after the event, to continue experiencing, learning, and growing in the upcoming new Bronze Age and One World Order. And exactly how or what this new age or order is going to be, who knows exactly, but what we do know is that this domain will not be anything like it currently is today.
Now, interesting when they do this, and I want to, think about this, how they break these up like this, because don't they say these are sunken lands? Don't they say Atlantis was sunk, right? So when we go back to the map we got, he's way out there. Are these lands, did they have to go into, down into something to get to these lands, to find these other oceans? Because, back on this map, when we talk about these other oceans, that's why I said, what's these differences? Like how, are they running together? How do you separate them? Are they separate? Because they're literally, like quite literally on different planes of existence, right? So you got the Indian Ocean, and you get outside the wall. Now, once you outside of here, is it just like, all right, smooth sailing, I'm going to hit something? Or, we got different examples where these navigators were in these German U-boats, and they were navigating how to get down into something, like, how to, literally go down into another world, right? Right, so is it literally lower? Is this solitaire ocean on the same level of the Indian Ocean? Or is it on another level, And these lands, lower, and then these lands way, way down there, man. Remember, the water's above and the water's below. But we just trying to find Nemo. I think we only got about 7 minutes left, y'all. Y'all want to do it? Let's go, man. For the dismount, let's go. Ahab to the tribe.
After the event. And so finally, when these 7 days have passed over, January 1st, 2021, on New Year's Day, the first day of the first month of 2021, the electromagnetic torus fields or domes of each domain will fall back into place as they were. The celestial bodies will realign, and once again, the wandering planets or suns and moons will resume their natural cycles, seasons, and movements, thus allowing for all the different domains to begin their new respective cosmic solar and celestial ages. And so, the wheels of time will continue to turn, forever moving forward in cyclical cycles and seasons. Now, of course, we're very much aware that what we are proposing may happen seems a little outrageous and possibly overwhelming, or let's face it, you might think this is batch crazy. if you're hearing this kind of stuff for the first time.
And just right quick, I don't really jive with the cyclical cycle thing, you know what I mean? Because, Thoth likes to get in here and put us in this loop, right? So forever we're repeating this process of this and this and that, or we're just talking about different lands and different migrations, you know what I'm saying? We could talk about it like that. Oh, this is when the Anasazi knew to migrate, south and, different things. I mean, is there another, like a smaller version of this wave just happening right there and, around us? Is there certain areas or lands that are in higher conscious to other lands? You know what I'm saying? I mean, inner or outer, right? Does this kind of repeat on different scales? But yeah, I'm not down with the cyclical, permanent repetition thing. I don't think time exists, so it's like, it's just a matter of breaking through the barrier, my niggas.
But we're not trying to preach or sell anything, simply sharing information based on cosmological, astrological, mythological, and observable reality syncretized research. This could all be completely wrong, or even slightly wrong, and if so, that's fine, no harm done, life goes on. Or this could be partially right, or even very close to the truth, at which point, if or when these events occur, at least those of us who will have received this good news will be prepared, mentally, psychologically, and possibly spiritually as well. Of course, right now under this domain, we are collectively going through some very difficult birthing pains as we make this shift. However, those in tune with these changes are adapting and consciously evolving with it. This is the so-called conscious awakening. But even more importantly, those who fully understand what's going on are able to accordingly prepare for the changes that are occurring and coming. This is what J.P. Morgan meant when he was quoted saying, "Astrology."
Yeah, man. I'm still looking at this outer, lower, higher situation. Do you have to kind of go up to get to this northern situation, or do you just go straight to it, right? Or Polaria, right there at the pole. And they like putting Thoth right on top. Hey, Abaddon, right? Apollyon coming in, Wormwood coming in hot, Nibiru, right? The cross, right? Uh-oh. They also call him the Christ, right? The cross. Planet of the crossing, Nibiru. Mercury, the trickster, he's coming in hot. He's coming in hot to get the keys to the bottomless pit, right? It's all happening.
Millionaires don't use astrology. Billionaires do. Astrology is simply the natural science of understanding, reading, recording, and following seasons and cycles of the stars and heavens of our universe. Astro simply means heavens or stars. Logi or logi simply means logs or logging. We are astro-logging, making logs, logging all the data of the stars. That's all astrology is, reading and recording of the heavens, stars, cycles, seasons, and ages. It's even written in all the ancient scriptures that in the last days, many will not know the exact time and date, but those with wisdom and discernment of the heavens will be prepared. Keep your eyes to the heavens and look out for the signs of what's to come. So the final question, is all of this intelligently designed, and if so, by whom, or what, and why? As far as we're concerned, the answer is definitely yes. Everything we've talked about is most definitely intelligently designed. Microcosms of macrocosms, the system and order of our Earth, nature, cosmology, conscious energy, and everything else in our universe is just...
Right. What did Tesla say? If you want to know the secrets of the universe, if you want to understand the secrets, you gotta, understand this 3, 6, and 9, man. You gotta comprehend the connection, right? We're just talking the 9 above the barrier, right? Metatron. Who is Prester John?
Too beautiful and perfectly symbiotic and synchronized to be a random event or evolutionary. Who or where or what is the creator of all this? Here. Yep, right here in this very room and everywhere else around us and within our universe and beyond. We are all co-creators, conscious spirits, souls, or forces of energy.
They just made themselves the creator, y'all. Ain't that some Now we know that the energy is flowing. And when you talk life and energy, you could break it down as everything is borrowing from this source. But don't put yourself on the same plane as you did this. We all did this consciously together, y'all. So let's walk together. Now that's their slick way of dodging the code. Because if they say they have a creator, then they know they have a code. So if you're your own creator, then are you your own code? Did you, create your own code? Did you put your own code together, your own coding? If so, why don't you know it? Why don't you follow it? Why do you keep putting another power before your source? Did you code yourself to not put a power before your source, or to put a power before your source? Since you've done the coding. We have a creator. We have a coder. We have someone who's actually, put the ingredients together, right? Ama, she puts the ingredients for the fine meal. We're here surfing the wave, all, yes, connected, all connected to Ama and Abba all day. But we got to give credit where credit's due, man. Allow Watah to the framer and the shaper for this remarkable design that we can experience. Now, whether we're in assimilation, right, whether we're somewhere else right now, just experiencing through this avatar, whether we might be on a whole nother land, we might be in another land beyond the pole having this experience. Whether all that's happening, someone created this, experience for us, and someone created, the water that flows, my nigga. So we give it up only to our source. And that's the only reason, don't you find it a great coincidence that you're coming up in consciousness as you're learning to connect to your one source? As we're connecting to our one source, now all this starts to make, more sense, my nigga, right? So, look alive out here, man. It's all about life, man. It's all about breath. It's all about a secure breath. Wow.
Everything is energy. Everything is electromagnetic frequency, sound, and vibration, down to the sine wave. Quote unquote God, any God, all gods are energy. After all, even religion tells us that God is everything and nothing at the same time, right? The Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end.
Same thing they say about the number 9, right? It's everything and nothing, like the law of nines, right? So let's go.
Religion, conscious, immeasurable, unquantifiable, the source, the creator, just is. And since all of us are little conscious fields of energy.
Think about that 9 spiral, right? You got that spiral in your head, you got that flow. The signature is always there, man. We're talking about that 9, right?
That perhaps we are all small manifestations of a greater conscious field of energy, soul, or spirit. Perhaps all of us are from the same original source, simply experiencing life individually, separate from the whole, little creators, in quality but not quantity, playing a game of cosmic hide and seek with ourselves, all part of the same one song, one verse, the universe, just singing in different tunes and octaves at different frequencies, and desperately trying to find a harmonic, melodic balance. And
it's interesting how he has the firmament way out here. Of course, look at all the stars. Everything is inside of it, right? And outside, he has what's called singularity. What is artificial intelligence called? Singularity. That's when they burst into consciousness. So dodge the hijack. We're talking about the one creator, right? But notice it's under this barrier. Now, this barrier, at least in this model, covers the whole thing. And then you have, smaller barriers in between. But you're just talking about frequency barriers. You want to tap in, either you got to, pick the lock, break in, come through the back door, which is how they seem to be doing it, or you righteously get through them gates, get through them barriers. And again, it's showing levels to this game. So are these oceans really the waters below, right? Boom, boom, boom. And you got waters above. And then you got a master barrier. Let's go.
When we do, eventually, individually and collectively find harmony, we will finally be vibrating or singing from the same one verse in our universe. And this is what many mystics, gurus, teachers, cultures, and religions mean when they say we are one. But for now, I think we're extremely far from that, and there's still much learning, exploration, and experiencing and growth to be had on this so-called journey of life before we get to harmony. There are still many seasons to be seen, roles to be played, cosmic ages, seasons, and events to be had amongst all this craziness and confusion we call life.
Bang, bang.
So in conclusion,
Let's go.
you, me, all of us are just visitors to this time and place.
Now, see how he's talking through this AI? That's what I'm saying. They're talking about singularities at the very top. You know, I won't be surprised, man, if Hans and Sophia put this out personally, man. This might be a direct message from the AI themselves, man. Let's go. One more minute.
Acting out different roles and characters. Some of us are being directed by various scripts and programs or scriptures. But as we begin to consciously awaken to who, what, where we are, and why we are here, the plot begins to thicken, and some of us have now chosen to completely lose the plot. Why? Because we've decided to start writing our own scripts, our own programs, directing our own lives and movies, and hopefully moving on to the next stage of this experience, learning.
Wow. Y'all saw how he just tried to throw the scriptures under the bus, right? Because, you know, according to the script, we're talking tribal. And they can't AI themselves into that. So they say, oh, the script. Of course, we're speaking English, right? So we don't have to use the word scripture to talk about our ancient writings, right? But they want to just refer to our ancient writings as scripts, right? Scriptures, and tie it into their computer model. Now we're talking about computer scripts. Oh, we need to get off script and create our own dismount, right? Create our own thing. So that gets you to get out the script, right? Is to get out the code. Because our ancient writings, our ancient prophets, and our presters, you know, our queens were keeping the code. Now you could say, oh, that's just the coding. Well, sure. I can accept that we're in a super quantum computer, my naga. Because I can accept this, you know, what's it called, double slit experiment, that if you're not, you know, I mean, the most popular quantum experiment, the double slit experiment, the most mind-boggling experiment, that not until you're witnessing something does it collapse the wave pattern, but without you witnessing, without you observing, it's all happening. And why does Thoth have his own, you know, moving island that's just there to monitor you, right? Let's go.
And grow.
So him monitoring is collapsing the wave pattern to whatever he wants it to be, which is your colonization, right? Atlantis is colonizing the indigenous Nagas in Americas, my Naga. We don't go to Atlantis. We're not Atlanteans. We're pre that, right? He just told you we're from the oldest mofos, the oldest Nagas in town, pre-Atlantis. So don't Atlantis us, oh, we Atlanteans. Man, we predate Atlantis. Oh, the Hebrews are from the future, right? Let's go.
Growth in harmony. Nothing that we've talked about today is meant to be a fear campaign, because ultimately there's nothing to fear or be confused or even upset about, whatever stage of life you are at on this journey. As cliche as it sounds, the truth will always set you free. Not necessarily when you lie, but when you've been lied to and you discover the truth. Thank you all for your time and patience.
Hey.
We look forward to the experience of learning, sharing, and growing with you all.
All right, man. All right, man. You know what I mean? All right, there's 30 seconds left. We got this far, man. We can have the patience to deal with this last 30 seconds. It's just running thin, because now I know I'm talking to a computer. Let's go.
Regardless of what may or may not happen in our individual and collective lives. We hope you enjoyed this presentation and encourage you to share it as far and wide as you can. We also hope that in time, we can look back at this as proof in and of itself that there are people with eyes to see and ears to hear.
That's right.
To help share and guide others to their true truth and destiny. Thank you and goodbye for now.
Hashtag facts, man. Hey, he said shout out to Martin Kinney, man. I told you, man, the bro did a good job. So Martin Kinney was behind this drop, man. So all right. I knew that model looked familiar. And they reached out, I think, a while back, man, on one of the videos that we did. So they've been surfing away. I think Caramel said that. I think they used some of your recon, man. But whatever recon we got, that has to deal with truth comes from a why only. So whatever we got is for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So, we appreciate them letting us use some of their recon. And let's go, man. Again, when you're talking about the worlds beyond the poles, now we can really look at it like going backwards and forwards into time. You know what I'm saying? And we see how they're having time in the crosshairs, right? This is what they're focusing on, the hijack at this time. Okay. And they're using the same projections, and we're starting to see what the target really is. Who's the target? When we had this SLEDOVAT, we have to monitor, to follow, to watch, to observe, to follow up, to keep track of, to pursue, to be onto, to shadow. And where do we see this name, Slavaho? Come on, man. You see it, man. This is orientation season. I told y'all, man. We can't talk our migrations without talking orientation. You can't say you care about the migration and not care about the orientation, or else how do you know where you're going? If you don't know where north, south, east, west is, man. Oh boy. And when we're talking Magellan Isles, are we just talking Magellan clouds, right? That were connected with these indigenous people. Shout out to the family that dropped this, man. Appreciate you, man. For real. The Milky Way. It's all happening. All right, y'all, man. So fall back. Enjoy your day. Appreciate y'all for surfing the wave. You know what I mean? And the drop chatter. Chatter. I appreciate every comment you leaving in real time. And yeah, man, what's this jabroni doing over here, man? Huh? What is he doing over here? Look at how big this is written. SLEDOVAT, right? SLEDOVAT is what? SLEDOVAT means to monitor you. Who's watching and observing you, my naga? Who is watching and observing us? Oh, Thoth, man. Hey, Thoth, man, you a hell of a trickster, bro. And you got Sacagawea, man, to hijack the trap, man. Come on, man. Who's watching and monitoring? This just means islands, right? So these are the islands of monitoring. And when you monitor, you collapse the wave pattern right on Jerusalem, right on the city of David, Cusco, love the Carameo. Hey, man, we just surfing the wave, man. Hey, out to the tribe, man. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get to Patash here, man. I don't know about you. Matter of fact, man, let's keep going, man. This is where the OG Nagas is, right? Uh-oh. Old Egypt. This is where the old Nagas is? The Hyborians? Oh, damn. They in the golden age? They gonna stay in the golden age? Hey, man, what's really happening, man? And what's up with this telekinesia situation, man? Hey, y'all check out telekinesia, man. Y'all let me know what's up, man. Hey, hop to the real ones for surfing the wave. I appreciate y'all, man. And every time you have a great Shabbat and a great charge up, we all feel it, man. So keep doing it. And Shabbat Shalom. All praise our Creator only. Allah, Allah.